Yeah, well, we'll see how it's going to unfold. Big opportunity for both these sides and their new head coaches. Ruben Sellers already has the whole fans singing his name after just one game, but can he lift them off the foot of the championship table, or will Frank Lampard get his second win since taking over at Coventry? The players are out. Let's find out live here on Talksport 2. Sit back and enjoy in the company of former Leeds manager Neil Redfern and your match commentator here on Talksport 2, Adam Bridge.
Thank you very much, Faye. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to, well, I was going to say sunny Coventry, but the sun has just disappeared behind the clouds. It is December after all. We have no right to be sat here in our jumpers bathing in this beautiful sunshine. Last season, both these sides were within touching distance of the playoffs. Now, with both under new management, they grace the lower reaches of the Championship with a Christmas wish for improving fortunes. For Frank Lampard, the task appears easier, with last season's FA Cup semi-finalist lying 17th, but following in the footsteps of Mark Robins is an added complication. 4 points from 9 so far is a decent start for a man who sees this as a chance for managerial redemption. Ruben Sellers, meanwhile, may feel like he's leapt from the frying pan into the fire. Reading may be in all sorts of chaos off the field, but success on the field, masterminded by Sellers, was coming. So to swap that for Hull, who fired Liam Rossigna after finishing 7th, and his replacement Tim Wouter after a few months, is an interesting and some might call brave decision. Let's run you through those two teams then. We'll start with Coventry City, who make 3 changes from the midweek defeat at West Bromwich Albion. Latter-Bodier, Bidwell and Eccles drop to the bench. Binks, De Silva and Torp come into the starting 11. So it's Collins in goal, and it's Van Avaak, Thomas, Binks and De Silva across the back 4. Torp and Sheaf will play the 2 central midfield roles, with Sakamoto, Redoni and Mason Clark providing the support to Norman Bassett, who leads the line. It's an unchanged squad, which means Dovin, Allen, Sims, Kitchen, Thomas Asante and Tavares join the 3 who have been dropped to the bench this afternoon. As for Hull, well, they are unchanged from that 1-1 draw midweek against Watford, so Ruben Sellers puts faith in the 11 that gained that precious point in midweek. So Ivor Pandor is in goal. It's Coyle, Hughes, McLaughlin and Giles, former Coventry City loanee at the back. Slater and Alzate, the 2 holding midfielders. Kamara, Casey Palmer and Longman will be the 3 supporting João Pedro up front. Plenty of names on the bench who scored goals this season. Chris Bedia, who actually scored in midweek, is amongst the substitutes, as is Omer Puerta, Drama, Jacob, Burstow, Kopi, Jones and Melham as well. Bobby Madley is the man in charge. I wouldn't say the CBS arena is packed to the rafters, but they do make some hell of a noise here, Neil Redfern, the man alongside me, and they do make this an intimidating place, but so far this season, Coventry haven't capitalised on that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, you can see the gate or the attendance today is going around that 20,000 mark. You know, it's a fantastic stadium. You know, it's a massive game for both sides. Both sides will desperately want the points today. You know, it's important that Coventry try and win their own games and beat the sides that are around about them. Obviously, Hull City are bang at the bottom of the league. From their point of view, you know, this is an opportunity to realistically get 3 against a side that's struggling to score at home.
They're also conceding plenty of goals. Take Brad Collins in goal. He's started the last 6 games, but he's conceded 2 in 5 of those 6 appearances so far. I mean, when you look at the numbers, they've had the 4th most shots in the Championship, the 6th most touches in the box, but only 25 goals to their name so far this season for Coventry City. Bobby Madley's got us underway, and Coventry are kicking from left to right in the opening 45 minutes here at the CBS Arena. And it's an early chance on that far side to Ethan Mason Clark to try and get possession, but the ball runs out of play, and it will be a throwing for Hull City, who are, as ever, in their traditional orange top-to-toe shirts, shorts and socks, and the sky blue shirts, the white shorts and the sky blue socks of Coventry City as ever. And Hull have possession on that far side. It's Louis Coyle, former Leeds youth man, who gets it forward towards halfway as they try and gather some possession here, Hull, but it's picked up that time by Sakamoto. He's given it away immediately, and Rudoni gets a foot on the ball but can only poke it forwards into no man's land. And again, Coyle will sweep up at the back and find Pandor, who's away to our right hand side, all in bright yellow to the bright pink, should I say, in that Hull City goal. We're not going to miss him, although he does seem a fairly small figure. There's no doubt about that away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, I was just looking at Hull City. They want a good start in this game. You know, obviously only 1 point in the last 5. It's a tall order for them to come here and get something, but they'll be buoyed by that point they got against Watford in midweek.
Kamara's been fouled on the far side. They're going to get the first free kick of the game here. It was the skipper Coyle who played the ball forward down that right-hand side. Kamara was just cutting back when he's been sent to the ground by Jay Da Silva, and it will be a free kick then for Hull on that far side. They are probably about 7 or 8 yards outside the Coventry penalty area, yard in from that far touchline, and no surprise that Casey Palmer, the former Coventry man, has gone across to take it. You can hear the applause for Casey Palmer. 64 league appearances for the Sky Blues, 6 goals before he departed in the summer, and a generous round of applause from the Sky Blues faithful for their former man as he delivers that ball into around the penalty spot, headed down, and Collins has to make the save, low to his right hand side, but the offside flag was up anyway.
Yeah, great execution of the free kick by Palmer. It's a beautiful ball curled in towards them amber shirts, and it's a good header down and a great save, to be fair, by Brad Collins, because it's a normal save, it's a routine save, but he's got to make it because it goes in the back of the net if he doesn't.
Terrible from Binks. He's just tried to clip a ball out to this near side to Van Avik and gone straight into touch. A sign maybe of a lack of confidence in this Coventry City side, particularly when looking to play out from the back. Hull have possession at the edge of their own penalty area. It's EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2. We're almost 3 minutes in, and it's Coventry City 0, Hull 0. Taken down by Palmer. Lovely turn inside. He's got the close attention as he moved that time of Victor Torp, and he just pops the ball through towards the edge of the Coventry penalty area. Regan Slater had made the run, just too much on it, and it's easily gathered by Brad Collins.
Yeah, it's good play, to be fair. In the end, it's a decent ball through, and you know, Norman Bassett is looking for it. He's on the shoulders. He's got a little bit of pace, you know, and they're aware of that. This back line of Coventry City.
Throwing on that far side, the left-hand side for Coventry City. As I said, there are a few empty seats around, but not too many. Plenty of empty seats in the away support, away to our right-hand side in this bowl of a stadium at the CBS Arena. It's forward down this right-hand side. Van Avak does well, gets the better of Palmer. Van Avak, the only one who's started every game for Coventry City so far this season in the Championship. A real linchpin of this side. And he wins his side the free kick, which they've taken quickly. It's back to Collins at the edge of the penalty area. Just the one clean sheet for him so far. That was in the win against Millwall. Frank Lampard's first 3-point haul as Coventry City boss. Bassett's chasing hard away to our right. McLaughlin gets there first though and can safely see the ball back to Pandor in the Hull City goal. Just over halfway, Coventry come again. Sakamoto on this near touchline gives it short to Torp. Had started 4 of the last 6 games. He's back in the starting lineup today, Torp. Back to Van Avak again. And once more they'll look to play it from just inside their own half, courtesy of Bobby Thomas. And in the end, Binks, signed from Bologna after a season on loan last season, gives it back to Collins, who's just umming and ahhing what to do, and immediately gives the ball away for Hull City, who are on the charge towards the edge of the penalty area. And it's at the feet of Regan Slater, who tries to play Kamara on that far side. It's going to be dealt with this time, not convincingly, by Ben Sheaf. And on that far touchline, being forced to track back and do some work once more. It's cleared away by Torp, and it will be a throw-in on that far side. In fact, it was Rodoni with a clearance, and it's a throw taken quickly by Hull into the penalty area, trying to chase onto the end of it. That time was the advancing limbs of Sean McLaughlin, couldn't quite get there.
I just think that's that initial play by Brad Collins is really taking a chance. You know, you want to be keeping it tight in these early exchanges. You know, you don't want to give the opposition any encouragement. That was a real opportunity for Hull City.
Frank Lampard out in the technical area, arms folded. His opening game here against Cardiff, he was spending a lot of time with Ephraim Mason-Clark and just trying to coach him and guide him through the game. At the moment, it's just arms folded for Lampard, because he's probably been fairly unimpressed with the opening 5.5 minutes here of this early kick-off on Talksport 2 on EFL Game Day Live, where it remains Coventry 0, Hull City 0. They're underway as well over on Talksport in the game between Preston and Leeds. Can Leeds return to the top of the Championship for the time being this afternoon? That game live right now on Talksport. If you have got the Talksport app, you can flick between those games at any point. And if you haven't got it, treat yourself for Christmas. Get yourself a new phone maybe and download that Talksport app. It is a wonder of joy for you, I promise. Throwing down this near side for Coventry City, and I mean, they're having lots of the ball but not really doing much with it, Neil Redfern.
No, they're not. I think they're just sort of finding the feet at this moment in time, getting a feel for the shape. You know, I think there's some big performances needed for Coventry City today. I'm looking at Ben Sheaf, Jack Radoni, who's joining young Norman Bassett up front. It's important that he gets up with him and gives him good support. They look a little bit nervous on the ball at times, I think, Coventry, and they know the magnitude of this game, I think.
On halfway, Van Avak again, and we'll go back inside. Coventry happy to keep the ball, not really progressing too much at this moment in time. Binks out wide to the far side, where it's picked up by Mason Clark, back towards halfway, controlled again on that far side by De Silva. That's a little bit better. Now a chance maybe for Radoni to run here at this whole back line. Gets inside to Torp to the right hand side. Sakamoto's waiting for it on his right foot. Van Avak gets it across, and the driven shot in the end from Torp is from about 12 yards out, takes a deflection, goes wide, and the first corner of the game to Coventry.
Yeah.
And the first bit of good football now.
Yeah, absolutely, Adam. That's the best we've seen of Coventry so far, or both sides, to be honest with you. Great link-up play, ball down the line, it's good supporting run, to be fair, from Ben Sheaf, and it's a great ball across to switch the play. And a lovely little exchange on this right-hand side with Sakamoto, just whipping the ball across, and really that should end up in the back of the net. Takes a deflection, but that's a great chance for Coventry.
I think Torp gave that a little bit of everything as he it was a bit of a torpedo,
yeah.
You would say, as he struck that. Here's the corner on this right hand side. Torp is waiting short, just in case that's the option that's preferred. I think they're just checking that the whole defender is not encroaching, as Torp does get it across towards the back post, comes out to De Silva, who drives it, blocked I think by his own player. I think it may have gone into the back of Bobby Thomas in the penalty area, and the free kick's gone Hull's way anyway inside the box. But the first real bit of action from Coventry City, and they weren't far away.
No, it's a decent ball in as well, to be fair. It's well defended from Hull City. They're putting the bodies on the line. You know, it's a good strike, great effort, half volley from De Silva as it drops to him. Keeps it down, but they've just got to keep chipping away here.
8 minutes played, you're listening to Talksport 2, Coventry City 0, Hull 0. Taking their time over this free kick already. Ivor Pandor from Verona, signed him last January. Just the one clean sheet for him this season. He has started every single game in the Championship for Hull. That came against Millwall in a victory. Since then, 17 games without a shutout for Hull City. And Pandor, good defending this time for Van Avak on the near side. It's a throw for Hull midway inside the Coventry City half, which Ryan Longman will leave for Ryan Giles. Spent most of 2020 out the CBS Arena, the back end of the 1920 season, and the first half of the 2021 campaign he was at Coventry City. One of those players who's moved around a little bit, formerly with Borough, Blackburn on loan, Cardiff as well. Initially from Wolves, of course, never really settled anywhere, but Hull may be the place that he will settle now, having been purchased for £5 million. He's helped build an attack here down the right-hand side. Kamara has it. Lovely little layoff down that right-hand touchline. Ball crossed over to the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's headed away by Binks and out for a throw on the far side. A decent overlap that time from Louis Coyle.
Yeah, it's a good little bit of play as well by Abu Kamara. Just starts to take his man off, and he's aware of the runner Coyle, and just rolls it into his path. The ball in's just a little bit short from Coyle.
You know Coyle quite well. He was with you in the youth ranks at Leeds.
Yeah, he was in a strong cohort at Leeds of under 18 players. Talented boy.
Throw on that far side, captain in this whole side, Louis Coyle. Regan Slater's the one who's creating the most movement for him. There's a bit of charging from João Pedro inside the penalty area. Takes it down nicely. Lovely little bit of skill there. Nice Cruyff turn. Chance maybe to clip a ball to the back post here. Charging round the back was Longman for Hull, but they couldn't quite find him. It's gathered by Collins, and he immediately bowls the ball out up towards Radoni, who can't gather possession, and Hull will have it deep inside their own half.
Yeah, that's a couple of times now Brad Collins has just wasted opportunities. He's gone a little bit early with that throw. He's given Radoni absolutely no chance. It's up round his ear holes as the ball comes into him, and you just think that just need to calm down a little bit, Coventry City, and just try and get that ball into wide areas where they do look to, look like they're more likely going to get something from it.
Almost 11 minutes played. Torp gets it out to the far side. Mason Clark's there for Coventry. Lovely little skip past Coyle. Clark into the edge of the penalty area. Mason Clark still going. Tries to put the ball across, and it needed the intervention of Charlie Hughes to put that behind for another corner.
That's a brilliant bit of play by Mason Clark. Fantastic feet. Just drops his shoulder and works that outside. He's got the pace to run away from Louis Coyle, and just that final ball in that's just denying Coventry at the moment.
They all gather inside the penalty area. 5 or 6 sky blue shirts. Sakamoto's lurking on the edges, as is De Silva. They go short. Radoni then swings it over edge of the 6-yard box. Free header from Binks straight to the keeper. Comfortable save. He was only 6 yards out, but just couldn't get any directional power on it.
Yeah, and that's another chance, you know, Adam. It's a free header. It just drops a little bit awkwardly for Binks. It's a good ball in. I'm not sure he's expecting it fully, but he gets a header at target, but it's an easy save.
We've had 12 minutes on Talksport 2, EFL Game Day Live. Coventry 0, Hull 0. Once we're done here today, by the way, we'll be heading off to the Emirates Stadium for Arsenal against Everton in the Premier League. Exclusively live on Talksport 2 this afternoon from 3 o'clock. Not on TV anywhere as well. And remember, a couple of cracking bonus games for you tomorrow night. Spurs at Southampton is underway at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. That's going to be exclusive on Talksport. And Chelsea against Brentford is exclusive right here on Talksport 2. So 2 Premier League games for you on Sunday night at 7 o'clock across the network. Here's Mason Clark on the charge towards the edge of the penalty area. On his right foot, clips the ball forward to Bassett, who tries to get the shot away, and it's put behind by McLaughlin. But again, it's Ephraim Mason Clark on that far side who's causing all the problems. Yeah, it's that switch of play again as well. Brilliant from Sakamoto. Just opens himself up as he receives it. He's under pressure, takes himself across the field and sprays a beautiful ball out to Mason Clark. Again, he's a real thorn in Hull City's side, Mason Clark. He's got the pace on Coyle. Here we go again. They've gone short once more for Radoni to potentially try and deliver. In fact, he leaves it right for the ball swung towards the back post again. It's kept alive, but only just about that time by Thomas. Edge of the penalty area. Sakamoto swings a left-footed ball back into the danger zone. Half cleared by Kamara on that right-hand side. And now picking up the loose ball is Longman. Longman with a charge forward. Finds Pedro just short of halfway. Pedro being tracked all the time by Binks. Back it goes. Picking out McLaughlin at the edge of the penalty area. Here's Giles down this near touchline. Sakamoto, the Japanese midfielder, and immediately closing in close attention. And they're forced to go back to Pandora away to our right-hand side in the Hull City goal.
I think that's what they've got to do, Ad. You know, they've got to get right up against this Hull side and press them. You know, I think Radoni's key on this because he's playing in that 10 slot just in behind Norman Bassett. He's got to get up with him and cause that pressure and cause the error in that back line of Hull City's.
Well, they are trying to put pressure on a side who've conceded 28 goals so far this season, only scoring 18 as well, but they're on the charge now down that right-hand side, looking to Brian break towards the edge of the penalty area. It's Coyle again picking out Pedro, who goes on towards Palmer, who goes down in the penalty area, but he actually committed the foul on Van Aver, and that's going to be a free kick for Coventry inside their own penalty area in the final bit of sunshine that's currently showing on the pitch here at the CBS Arena. We've been put down into shade, and actually Van Avak's got to do his laces up, but before he can do that he needs to take his gloves off.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he did well there, the defender, because he's putting him under pressure there, his Palmer, as he tries to retrieve that ball and try and get it across the box. But it's great defending, stays on his feet, stays big and just forces the foul.
As ever, we like to keep you across the early games in the EFL today. All the 3 championship games are all goalless. They're all goalless in League 1, and in League 2 the only goal has come in the game between Tranmere and Harrogate, and it's Harrogate Town who lead the way in League 2. So Tranmere Rovers 0, Harrogate Town 1. Here's Mason Clark on that left-hand side again for Coventry City, towards the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed ball laid across, and there's the header from Bassett. Again, it's a tight angle at the near post, inside the 6-yard area, and he puts it over the crossbar. Well,
it's another opportunity. I mean, it's a great ball in from Mason Clark. He's been the standout player so far for Coventry City. Every time the ball goes out to him, something develops from it. You know, he's 2-footed, he can go both ways. It's a great ball in with his left foot, and I think he's just got to do a little bit better there with that header.
Reminder, Hull haven't won in 12 league games. They've lost 8 and drawn 4 of those in total. And Bobby Madley I think, just moaning about the taking of this goal kick by Hull and the way they've set up for it. Certainly the Coventry players are on the edge of the penalty area looking to press, which Rodoni does. There is a route out on this near side to Giles, who's giving it straight to Sakamoto, who loads the ball into the box. Brissett tries to get there again, and it needed a defensive intervention from Charlie Hughes to put it behind for yet another corner for Coventry City, this time on the right.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't get this, what Hull City are trying to do, trying to play out when they're in a full press. Coventry making it easy for them, try and play out their hole, they win it back. Coventry, it's a great ball in from Sakamoto, and it nearly ends up in the back of the net. Got to choose when they can play out.
Really difficult to find a route out time and time again. Here comes the corner. And it's going to be Rodoni who's going to swing this one in towards that back post, spilt by the keeper. Will he be protected? No, he gathers it the second attempt. Just for a moment then you wondered if Bobby Madley was going to whistle, and the keeper may have been impeded, but decided not. And Hull will try and counter, this time with Casey Palmer out wide to this left hand side. Poor pass, immediately picks out the feet of Jack Rodoni. Avac just gives it back once more to Thomas. Cries from all around us as Thomas gives the ball away. They beat the press again. Rodoni's on the charge down this right hand side. Sakamoto's outside of him and in plenty of space. On his right foot, Sakamoto. Will he go to the byline or come back on his left? Goes to the right, then onto his left. Brilliant from Sakamoto, who puts his shot into the side netting on this near side. Claims the corner. Assistant and the referee having none of it. And Sakamoto unable to find the target.
Well, it's brilliant wing play from Sakamoto. I mean, he's dancing his way past Ryan Giles at left back, giving him a real problem. And really, I'm thinking he's going to square that ball across the box, and he takes the chance and shoots at the near post, and it's the side netting, and it's another opportunity for Coventry City.
Coventry playing with the inverted wingers. Mason Clark always keen to get on his right foot. Sakamoto wanting to get on his left foot, but playing on the right hand side. And still having Giles on toast, whichever feet he goes for. 18 minutes play, Coventry 0, Hull 0. EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Another of our festive 50 games this in December. Some real crackers for you throughout the month. Down that left-hand side, De Silva finds Mason Clark again. Mason Clark this time goes to the byline on his left foot, cross over towards Rodoni, who takes it off the head of Sakamoto, who was coming in at the back post and would have had a free header and an empty net to put it in. They do keep possession, but what an opportunity for Coventry City.
Yeah, what a great ball again from Mason Clark. I think he's just got to give that shout, and there Sakamoto. He's going backwards there, Rodoni. It's a real difficult header for him. But Sakamoto's coming straight onto it. That would have just been a free header into the back of the net. That's another chance gone begging for Coventry.
Ball held up this time at the edge of the penalty area by Torp. Sakamoto gets it across to Sheaf. Cries of shoot. Sheaf though finds Mason Clark into the feet of Rodoni, edge of the box. Rodoni on his left foot gets the shot away, and it's a comfortable save in the end for Pandor, low down to his left hand side.
Yeah, he's just starting to come into his own a little bit now, Jack Rodoni. Made a couple of little good runs and sprayed some passes out into the wide areas where they're really effective. Coventry City, they look far better for it as an attacking force.
It's fairly one-way traffic at the moment, Neil, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They look a little bit wobbly, I think, Adam.
And they're playing out from the back again here, and this time there's a foul by Mason Clark, and that's on Louis Coyle on that far side, and it will give Hull a little bit of a respite. It all seems to be coming from this playing out of the back, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, the idea or utopia is to play out from the back and play total football, but if the opposition are pressing you and stopping you from doing it, you've got to have a plan B, and at this moment in time, Hull City haven't.
Early kick-off in League One, Bolton 0, Wigan 1. As things stand, Dale Taylor with a goal after 18 minutes for Wigan, and Salford City lead against Notts County in League 2 in the early kick-off there. Conor McElnay with the goal for Salford City. Here come Hull, rare attack from the last 10 minutes or so. Casey Palmer has it, 35 yards out from goal against his former side. Palmer into the feet of Giles, the two ex-Coventry players combining. Back towards halfway, where it's picked up, and McLaughlin will try and get it forward with the help of Casey Palmer, but Sakamoto wins it and is fouled in the process by Ryan Longman, and it's a free kick for the Sky Blues midway inside their own half.
Yeah, they look good at the moment in time, Coventry. The two wide players are working really hard and look effective, Sakamoto and Mason Clark. In midfield, they're nice and tight. They're making it difficult for Palmer and Slater in there, it's a problem.
Still goalless, by the way, in the 3 championship kickoffs this lunchtime. Bristol City against Queen's Park Rangers, Preston against Leeds, of course, the other 2 games, and goalless here between Coventry and Hull. Edge of the penalty area, Coventry have it again, good pressure from Kamara, but a little easier for Coventry to get out of the press than Hull have found it so far in this game. Sheaf, delightful pass forward, helped on its way by Radoni. Bassett, left edge of the penalty area, Sakamoto's coming in, but he can't get his ball across the box, and it's blocked out for a throw on the far side, which they'll take quickly. Short down to the skipper, Sheaf. There was some interest from Sheffield United in the summer in Ben Sheaf. He chose to stay, and he swings the ball over towards Sakamoto again, just over the top of his head. Van Avak will pick it up, will give it short again to Thomas, and then to Binks, and then to Jay Da Silva. They'll keep it inside the centre circle. The Sky Blues just tucking Hull inside their own half at this moment in time. Van Avak down this right hand side, teases, oh lovely, onto his right foot, clips the ball towards the back post, and coming in was Radoni, heads it back into the danger zone, half cleared away to the edge of the penalty area. Thomas wins it well and illegally, according to the referee. Got there ahead of João Pedro, but according to Bobby Madley, he did it illegally, and it will be a free kick for Hull City. Yeah,
it's a soft one, isn't it, from Binks. I think that the referees just let them off the hook a little bit there. Hull City, they've been under the pump for the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Well, there's going to be a slight break here. The keeper's gone down, Ivor Pandor, away to our right hand side, the Croatian. He's receiving some treatment, so it's an opportunity before the free kick's taken for a few players to take on some water. And I can remind you, as I said, this is part of our festive 50 live commentaries this December across the Talksport network. On Boxing Day alone, we've got an absolute feast of football for you. 10 live and exclusive games across the Premier League and the Championship for you on Boxing Day. Again, Talksport 2 and the Talksport app will be your home for all of those games on Boxing Day. Whatever you're up to, if you need to escape the family after a fairly chaotic Christmas day, then we'll be your perfect soundtrack throughout the day.
Just watching Bobby Thomas there, and they're having 2 huddles, 2 team meetings there, and Bobby Thomas is at the back of the Hull City one, and they're not happy about it, the Hull City players, because he's listening in to what they've been told.
Well, Frank Lampard's also speaking to Sam Allison here, who's the 4th official, about the fact that this whole team meeting has gone on while Pandor received some treatment. Pandor, I'm not too sure what his problem was, but this smacks of the keeper going down, so there can be a reassessment. I think that's what Lampard's cottoned onto. Yeah, a little break in play. I mean, they've been under the cosh for the last 10 minutes, like I said, Hull City, and I think it just gives him a little bit of a breather. He's got to wise up there, the referee. Well, here's the free kick, again, taking his time over it. Bobby Maddy just trying to hurry them along, but I think Lampard's not happy with some of the housery taking place here from Ruben Sellers' side. They have broken the momentum that Coventry were building, that's for sure. 21 minutes remaining in this first half. EFL Game Day live on Talksport 2, 0-0. And it's Hull who have the throw, taken short, Longman. Harried and hassled that time by Tor. Gathered by Louis Coyle on that far side, 10 yards inside his own half. Gets it forward to Abu Kamara. Back to Coyle, then on to Hughes, and the boos are for Ivor Pandor as he touches the ball in the Hull City goal away to our right hand side. Here they come again, the Tigers, with McLaughlin down this left hand side. Gives it short to Giles. Sakamoto tracking all the way. Ran that ball out of play though, Giles, and it'll be a throw in on this near touchline for Coventry City, midway inside their own half, and it'll be left for Milan Van Avak, signed from Heerenveen back in 2023. Got his goal versus Oxford earlier in the season with the Dutchman, and his throw just goes back to Bobby Thomas, and Thomas will lift it forward over halfway, but again a bouncing ball picked up in the middle of the park by Slater this time. On to Longman. Longman infield to Slater again, back to Longman once more, just off the angle of the Coventry City penalty area on this right hand side. Good bit of work that time done by Alzate. For the first time in the game, I think he's actually got involved in some of the action here for Hull, and they've conceded a throw down this right hand side, which Sakamoto's going to take quite quickly. In fact, he's going to end up leaving it for Van Avak.
Yeah, great pressure by Rodoni. That's what he needs to do. He needs to back this attack up in that 10 position. But he really rats after the ball there in midfield. Brilliant play.
Here's De Silva on the left-hand side. The Welshman yet to score for Coventry City, Jay De Silva. Joined from Bristol City. He'll have the ball again just inside his own half. Back in the starting lineup today, one of 3 changes from Frank Lampard from the midweek defeat at West Bromwich Albion, again where they had chances, but that inability to score in the absence of Haji Wright. Here's Sakamoto, left-footed ball clipped over the top. Oh, clever run this time by Bassett, but he's offside. And I think he knew it as well, which always alarms me. If a player knows he's offside, then surely he should have known to keep himself onside.
Yeah, I'm surprised at Bassett getting caught offside there, but I mean, he's got blistering pace. He could give this back line 5 yards start and still catch it, but he's just got to time his run a little bit better there.
A real leap of faith in Bassett. He's only scored 4 league goals in his entire senior career. They picked him up from Caen. One this season so far for Coventry City, for the Belgian. He's 20 years of age.
Just in this opening 25 minutes, so you can see what he gives them. He gives them that little bit of pace, goes in behind. I mean, obviously his goal record needs to be far, far better, but you know, as a young player, gives them energy, and they've been the better of the 2 sides, Coventry.
27 minutes played, 0-0 it remains. De Silva in his left-back position on that far side, just at the edge of the Coventry City penalty area. Gives it short to Binks. Binks up towards Mason Clark, who loses out in the air. Picked up by João Pedro. Lifts the ball over the top. Longman's in there, but Van Avak is there to head the ball safely down into the arms of Brad Collins in the Coventry City goal away to our left-hand side. Sheaf has just dropped in between the centre halves. Ball short to Torp, comes back to Van Avak, and now it's back with Collins inside the penalty area again. Right for the ball play to that left-hand side. De Silva picks it up, looks to cut infield, steps away from the initial challenge from Regan Slater, and he finds Rodoni, who's in that advanced position on the left-hand side this time. He's got Mason Clark just inside of him, and it's Mason Clark who now has the ball at feet. Outside him is Rodoni. Bassett's into the penalty area, but he slips over Rodoni as he's trying to deliver the ball. They win it back though with De Silva, and now again with Torp, and now Rodoni across. Mason Clark takes it down in the box, tries to spin on his left foot, and he pops it into the side netting, and half the stadium around us are on their feet. Mason Clark with a lovely first touch, but again it was a tight angle, and for the second time in this game, Coventry City find the side netting. Yeah, but that's where the threat is. You know, the 2 wide players have been brilliant for Coventry City. Sakamoto and Mason Clark. It's really good effort. It's a great first touch because the ball comes in at speed, and he gets his body on the half turn and he whips a left-footed shot, but it just scrapes the side netting and goes wide. Just fools the crowd. They thought it settled in the net. Brad Potts has scored for Preston. Preston lead Leeds by 1-0 in the Championship. That game live right now over on Talksport. What's Daniel Farker going to do about that one? Reminder elsewhere, Wigan lead Bolton in League 1. It's now Tranmere 1, Harrogate Town 1 in League 2, and Salford still leading Notts County by 1-0. All the other early kickoffs remain goalless. And once we're done here today, we're off to the Emirates. Arsenal against Everton in the Premier League is our live and exclusive commentary from 3 o'clock this afternoon. In fact, you'll hear from Ian Danta, and you'll hear from Dean Ashton, who are your team this afternoon when we get to half-time at the CBS Arena. Van Avak on this right-hand side for Coventry City, who've been by far and away the better team, but it still remains 0-0 as we approach the half-hour mark. Rodoni back towards halfway. Again, it's Thomas out wide to this right-hand side, and then Rodoni once more. Was at Huddersfield, of course, last season. Now, they paid $5 million for him in the summer, Rodoni. Got to spend a little bit of time with him and Ben Sheaf, actually, a few months back. Really nice lads. Sheaf, one in particular, very proud to be captain in this football club. Here's Thomas again. He's going to go back to Collins, and Coventry having to keep the ball. Kamara's leading the press, but no one else really coming with him from Hull, and that's their problem. Yeah, and they get picked off for it. You know, I think there comes a point where they realise the opposition's under pressure. They've got to really back that press up, Hull City. The record here is pretty decent. They're unbeaten in their last 5 league meetings with Coventry, and they've not lost in 6 here. It's a very impressive record. Coventry last won against these in a home game back in 2007. So 17 years ago, as there's a foul on that far side, and it's going to be Rudoni, who's penalised, and a free kick for Hull, level with the edge of their own penalty area with 14 minutes remaining in this first half. I guess the frustration for Frank Lampard's going to be that they've had shots, and we said earlier that they're one of the top teams for shots in this championship, but just still not really troubled the goalkeeper.
No, I mean, look, I'm just looking at the stats here. 62% possession, Coventry City, 1.26 expected goals to 0 to Hull City, 10 shots at goal, 2 on target, big chances, 1. There should be at least 1 in front.
Well, we have seen the first yellow card of the game. Ivor Pandor has been booked for time wasting, 31 minutes in.
It's been coming, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. That's what the roars were for around the CBS Arena from the Coventry City supporters, who I think the feeling is about time. Bassett's on the chase here as that goes through to Pandor away to our right-hand side, who is being booed with every touch as it's nodded on that far touchline towards Kamara, put out of play for the interception by Sheaf, and it will be a throw on that far side for Hull, just 10 yards short of halfway. 13 minutes to go to half-time. It remains 0-0, which for Coventry City, in terms of their inability to keep clean sheets, and Hull, is a bit of a bonus really for both.
Yeah, and you can't help but feel that as it goes 0-0, Hull City will start growing in confidence.
There's another foul and a free kick. This time it's gone the way of Coventry City, 2 or 3 yards inside the Hull City half. It's Sheaf, the player, who's down as well, and it will be a free kick for the Sky Blues, who are trying to turn their domination into a goal advantage. Bassett, it's a good ball that from Sheaf. Bassett is offside though again. I mean, it's from a free kick on halfway.
Yeah.
How on earth is he not keeping check of where he is?
Yeah, it's youthful inexperience, to be honest with you. I mean, it just steps up. Charlie Hughes plays his man offside. He's just got to use his noggin, and because he's got the pace to do it. I mean, there's 2 or 3 times he's run away from this Hull City backline, but he needs to time his runs better.
Here comes Van Avak to Sakamoto. Now here's Sheaf centrally for Coventry City, midway inside the Hull half. Out wide to this right-hand side is Jack Rudoni. Rudoni with the ball at feet, just goes towards the edge of the penalty area. Van Avak is there, back to Rudoni once more on this right-hand side. On his left foot, looks to clip a ball in, but he wins inside the corner because it's easily blocked out. I don't think it's the best of deliveries, but Giles does what he needs to, and another corner down this right-hand side for Coventry.
Yeah, and what they've done really well is they've worked the ball well in wide areas. They've got overlaps in. The 2 wide players have been outstanding, Sakamoto and Mason Clark. Rudoni's starting to grow into the game, been more of a presence.
5th corner this for Coventry City from this right-hand side, and again Rudoni will be the man to deliver with his left foot. It's a real clipped one towards that back post. Keeper flaps it, comes out to De Silva, who was just going to juggle the ball on his thighs and try and get a shot away, and in the end he commits the foul, and it's a free kick for Hull. As I say, 5th corner, and I mean the stats are quite damning, aren't they? 10 shots so far from Coventry City, nothing as yet from Hull.
Yeah,
of any description.
Yeah, that's indicative of the way the game's going, Adam, as well. And I just think from Hull City's point of view that they're sort of in between 2 styles. They want to play out from the back, they're getting caught a little bit. There's not enough bodies supporting the ball when it goes forward, so they get a little bit isolated the front line. He's got some work to do at half-time, Salas.
They've done it again. They've got a free kick there. Ivor Pandor has tried to play it out from the back. They've given possession away immediately, and it's a throw-in again on this near side for Coventry City. There is no break for this Hull City backline when they continue to play out from the back. Ruben Sellers surely must tell them occasionally, go long.
Yeah, I'm just looking at him now. He's pulling his hair out on the touchline. I mean, they're just simple, basic things. They could do themselves a big favour in just changing how they play a little bit.
Bassett's come from a little deeper this time, and he's on the charge. He's taken down, and that's going to be a foul. It was a fairly obvious challenge from Charlie Hughes, and it will be a free kick on this right-hand side for Coventry, probably about 25 yards out from goal.
Yeah, it's clumsy, isn't it? Because this ball's going to come right in under the keeper. I mean, they've got good ball in from the set plays, Coventry. Just don't want to be giving cheap free kicks away so late in the game as well at half-time.
10 minutes remaining. You're listening to Talksport 2 EFL Game Day Live. It remains Coventry City 0, Hull City 0. But Coventry by far and away the dominant side in this game. Torp and Rodoni are across this free kick on this right-hand side. It's about 5 or 6 yards in from the touchline, and it's probably about 25 yards out from goal. So they have put Binks forward. Thomas has gone forward as well inside the penalty area. Bassett's there also. You feel this could be the left foot of Rodoni. No, he's left it, and it's going to be Torp's right footer to swing in, which he does towards the back of the penalty area, and the keeper's just tipped it over the bar. There was a header that was going goalwards from Thomas, and it's over the top of the crossbar. Terrific save by the keeper. Just for a moment he looked like he was going to drop it down into the 6-yard area.
Yeah, it's a great ball in. The set players have been excellent. Coventry, it's a good header from Thomas, gets right above his man, and he makes a decent save, to be fair, in the end. Pandor.
Corner, this time on the left-hand side for Coventry City. That's 6 of the first half. Can they make them pay? Right over it comes, headed away to the edge of the box. Sakamoto's there, back into the danger zone. Trying to win it the second time was Thomas, but again he just mistimed his jump, and it's safely into the arms of Pandor in goal for Hull, away to our right-hand side.
I'm just looking at Coventry, and when the ball goes to the keeper Pandor and they're retreating back, they may as well stay in, because they're going to play out from the back. You know what I mean? And it's caused them problems. They may as well stay up the pitch, stay in, lock onto them, and say, go on then, play out.
Well, they've just tried one more direct pass this time, having played out from the back. It was a one pass forward, and it's straight back to Coventry City, who will continue to dominate possession in this game. There's no doubt about that, but you can have all the possession you like. The scoreboard still reads 0-0. Good foot in that time from Sheaf, and it needed to be, because it's just poked it to Sakamoto before Casey Palmer arrived. Then on this near touchline, Van Avak is probably about, well, I thought he was about 2 yards out of play when he touched that ball. Frank Lampard's adamant that it should be a throw into Coventry City, but it isn't. It's gone Hull City's way, midway inside the Hull City half.
I don't know what the linesman was waiting for then.
No, he's in there. There's a bit of sun on it, but apart from that, I'm not sure what the confusion would be.
Yeah.
Van Avak tried to touch it when he was almost in the technical area. So, unless I think Lampard's claiming maybe it took a deflection on the way through, who knows. Here's Sakamoto though, he's won it back down this right-hand side. Gives it short to Bassett, the Belgian, who's on the charge. Outside of him is Sakamoto, goes inside. Sheaf's there towards the edge of the penalty area, but it's well defended this time by Slater, who gets it away. Signed from Sheffield United back in 2022. The Yorkshireman, who's appeared for a few teams in the county. On this near side, it's Thomas for Coventry City, just inside his own half. Gives the ball away, clip ball over the top. Kamara's on the chase after this one. De Silva's with him. Kamara does get the shot away though, and Collins has to go down. It was always going wide, but he goes down low to his right and makes a very comfortable save.
Yeah, it's a decent effort from Kamara. A little bit of a mismatch up against De Silva, because he's quite tiny at left back. And he does well to get his shot off there, Kamara. It's a decent effort. It's first shot on target for Hull.
It is for a side who are rooted to the foot of the table. Here is Sakamoto down this right-hand side. Just gives it short to Van Avak, and Sakamoto still there in support. This will be teed up nicely for his left foot, you would have thought, but actually he's been dispossessed on this near touchline. Good work and good effort by Longman. He gets it to Palmer, does he? No, Sakamoto nips in to win it back. Midway inside the Hull City half. And now it's chance for Binks. Binks forward to the feet of Rodoni. Mason Clark's outside him on that left-hand side. Mason Clark tries to cut inside, but Louis Coyle was alert to the danger. It comes back to De Silva again. He'll get it to Rodoni. Rodoni once more to De Silva. De Silva now with room to cross from that left-hand side. He gets it over, and it's headed away comfortably at the edge of the 6-yard box by Hughes. Out on that far touchline again, it's one with hard work by Ben Sheaf. Right-footed shot from Sheaf is over the top of the bar. It was ambitious from about 30 yards out and was never really troubling Pandor away to our right-hand side. We've got exactly 5 minutes left in this first half here on Talksport 2, where it remains Coventry City 0, Hull City 0.
Yeah, it's another good spell of pressure from Coventry City though. They've more or less been camped in this Hull City half. And again, it's a good effort, but just can't find that breakthrough.
In League 2, Salford lead Notts County by 2 goals to 0. As things stand, a reminder, it's still Tranmere 1, Harrogate Town 1. Sakamoto clips the ball into the box, looking for the run of Mason Clark, and I think Torp's going to be penalised for a foul there at the edge of the penalty area on the former Brighton man, Stephen Alzate. Reminder this afternoon, you've got a choice of listening across the Talksport network. Arsenal against Everton's here on Talksport 2. It's our exclusive Premier League commentary. Game Day Live with Adrian Durham is over on Talksport from 2:30 as well. Troy Deeney, Robert Hoof and Mickey Gray on the team as they go round the grounds with all the goals as they go in from the Premier League and the EFL this afternoon. I think it's a debut for Robert Hoof as well today up at Newcastle. Troy's going to be watching the game at Liverpool. He was with me for the Girona-Liverpool game on Tuesday night here on Talksport 2 in the Champions League. I think he'll be hoping for a little better from Darwin Núñez today following Tuesday's performance. Thomas for Coventry City, out wide to this right-hand side. We're into the final 3.5 minutes. Sakamoto on his left foot, tries to bend the ball in. I thought he might try and have a shot there, but he just tried to lift it towards the back post with that curl as he was cutting in from this right-hand side on his left foot, but it was intercepted in the end. And it's back out now on this right-hand side with Van Avak. Van Avak towards the edge of the penalty area. Not too many options available to him, so he just stands. He's got his gloves on to keep him warm. He gets it out to Torp towards the back post where Mason Clark was coming, and Coyle's there to head away first time. Then Coyle goes down. It's a shove in the back from Mason Clark, who got a header away goalwards, but it will be a free kick for Hull inside their own penalty area.
Do you know what? They've got into absolutely brilliant positions, Coventry. Some of the build-up players fantastic, and they've got good crosses in the box. And you know it's coming in there. I'm just looking at Redoni, and Bassett, Sakamoto coming in the back stick, Mason Clark coming in the opposite side. They've got to get on the end of it. It's not just going to come and hit you. You've got to get on the end of it.
Well, there's a card there been shown to Jack Redoni.
Yeah, I think he just spoke out of turn, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think the referee not very happy with that. So Bobby Madley puts a second name in the book. Redoni joining Pandor. 2.5 minutes remaining of this first half here on Talksport 2. Well, you thought 1-1, didn't you? I said I thought there'd be plenty of goals, and here we are at 0-0.
Yeah.
Pays to think too hard about these things sometimes. Regan Slater on that right-hand side, 25 yards out. Kamara onto his left foot. He's being closed down by De Silva. Just tries to find Coyle, who's gone on the overlap. Back to Kamara again. Kamara now onto his right foot. Dinks the ball towards the back post. Oh, it's off the post and followed up by João Pedro. And Hull City, unbelievably, have the lead here 2 minutes before half-time. And Coventry City, who've dominated this game, have been undone at the back post. And João Pedro has finished off with his third championship goal of the season. And Hull City have the advantage as we head towards half-time. It's Coventry City 0, Hull City 1.
Wow, well that's totally against the run of play. I mean, it's a fantastic goal, but they're going to be kicking themselves here, Coventry City, because they've been camped in Hull City's half. But fair play to Hull City. It's a great ball in from Kamara initially. Shown little glimpses in this half of ability to go past players and put balls in the box, and he just finds his mate Longman at the back stick, and he heads it across. It just comes off the back post and drops at the feet of I think it's Pedro coming in, and he keeps it down brilliant because it's a high tariff. The ball bounces quite high and he gets over it and just steers it onto the target. It's a great goal, come out of nothing.
Certainly did. A minute to go to half-time, and well, it's been all Coventry City. We have seen nothing from Hull City in the opening 43 minutes of this game, and yet here we are heading into the break, and the bottom side are in front in the Championship. João Pedro with his third Championship goal of the season. Goals against Portsmouth, West Bromwich Albion, and now Coventry City to add to the CV for Hull City's number 12. Here's Ben Sheaf, the Coventry captain. What can he do? So we head towards probably a couple of minutes of added time, I would have thought. Here's Sakamoto on his left foot. They are used to being behind. They were behind twice to Cardiff here before getting themselves back to 2-2. There's been a couple of games this season where they've been 2-0 down and managed to rescue either a point or all three here at the CBS Arena. We're going to have 4 added minutes at the end of this half. So there's still plenty of time for Coventry to get themselves back on terms before that half-time whistle blows. Ball out of play, throw in on this near side, which will be taken by Coventry quickly. Yeah, you can't help feel that this is a tester now, isn't it? A test of character for Coventry. They dominated the game, created lots of chances. I mean lots of chances. And the one chance that Hull City gets in the back of the net. Avak's cross down this right-hand side. Van Avak's ball in is half cleared away, and They'll come out of play on this near side for another Coventry City throw, which is going to be taken quickly this time by Thomas. There's an urgency about Coventry's play. Here is Sheaf forward to the feet of Torp. Back again towards halfway where Binks picks it out, and Thomas again. This time we'll go more direct towards Bassett, who's lurking at the edge of the penalty area. Taken down on this right-hand side by Torp. He's closed down by Casey Palmer. Does well to offload to Van Avik, and Van Avik to the far side. Gets it towards Mason Clark, who tries to take it down, and there's cries for a foul from the supporters, but nothing from Mason Clark. Here is De Silva on that left-hand side. Has the support of Ridoni. De Silva wants it back. On that far side, he's level with the edge of the penalty area, the left-hand side. Torp, infield it goes, little layoff from Torp. De Silva's continued his run towards the byline, and it's out of play for what will be a goal kick to Hull City away to our right-hand side. We've had 90 seconds of the 4 minutes added at the end of the first half, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at Hull now. There's a little bit more urgency to the defending. They're just smelling blood a little bit here. Crowd's gone quiet. They have had lots of the game, Coventry City, but it's about putting the ball in the back of the net. And if you have your chances and you keep missing them, you always sucker to that other one at the other end when the team breaks. And it's a good goal from Hull City in the end.
Yeah, it's a really sharp finish after Longman put his header against the post. The rebound perfectly fell to João Pedro, and it was a really sharp finish to give Ruben Sellers' side the lead. Van Avak's ball across isn't the best from this right-hand side. He got himself into really good position just by the byline, but can't beat the first man with the delivery. We're midway through the 4 minutes added at the end of this first half. Long clip ball to this right-hand side. Van Avak is there if he can keep it in by the corner flag, which he can't. Runs it out of play, and it will be a goal kick for Hull away to our right-hand side. And even with a yellow card, I'm fairly sure that Ivor Pandor is going to take his time over this goal kick.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think from Hull City's point of view, I mean, they're finding everything difficult to come by, scoring goals, keeping clean sheets. They're 1-0 up, and at this moment in time they've got a clean sheet. It's something worth fighting for, and that'll be the message from Ruben Sellers at half-time. Got to keep banging on about keeping clean sheets, being disciplined, tracking runners. If you get your chances, put it in the back of the net. They've not come to entertain Coventry City, they've come for the points.
Well, they've lost 4 of their last 5 away from home, and they failed to score in 3 of those defeats. But they have the advantage here, and it's going to be a yellow card for the goal scorer João Pedro. Well, I think Binks is up and about now. He was down on the floor until the yellow card got shown, and then all of a sudden he's got himself up and about and he's okay. So Pedro getting a talking to from Bobby Madley. We're into the final few seconds of the 4 minutes added at the end of this first half. We'll be heading off to the Emirates, where of course Faye Carruthers is based this afternoon. Ian Danter and Dean Ashton will be looking ahead to this afternoon's live Premier League commentary between Arsenal and Everton. That's part of your half-time entertainment here on Talksport 2 today. But before we reach that phase, is there a final chance here for Coventry to get themselves level in this game? Binks' ball over the top, completely overhit, and into the arms of Pandor away to our right-hand side. The 4 minutes of tick round. I'm sure Bobby Madley will just add a few more seconds on for that injury moment to go to Binks. And Pandor has the ball at feet and is going to launch it forward for Hull. And there is that whistle from Bobby Madley. Well, a half, no wonder that there was a chorus of boos from the Coventry City supporters. They've been dominant, or they were dominant, for the opening 43 minutes. They'd had 10 or 11 shots on goal, only a couple on target. They dominated possession, they dominated play. Hull had offered nothing, and then all of a sudden, down that right-hand side, Abu Kamara onto his left foot, clipped a ball to the back post. Ryan Longman heads it against the frame of the goal, and as it comes back out, João Pedro is there to score his 3rd championship goal of the season. It means at half-time, totally against the run of play, it's Coventry City 0, Hull City 1.
Thanks very much, Adam. Also goal against the run of play at Deepdale. Preston are a goal up against Leeds at half-time thanks to Brad Potts. It was a wonderful ball from Osmajic. Catch them on the break, Leeds, and Preston a goal to the good there. 0-0 between Bristol City and QPR. In League One, it's Bolton 0, Wigan 1 thanks to Dale Taylor's 18th minute goal. Leyton Orient 0, Burton 0 so far. And in League 2, Salford City 2 goals to the good against Notts County. Conor McElhenney's goal and assist for Cole Stockton, the difference between the two sides. Tranmere 1, Harrogate 1 is the other score in League 2. James Daly's strike was equalised by Christian Dennis 10 minutes later. And in the WSL, Leicester City currently upsetting the form books, beating Chelsea by 1-0 thanks to Missy Goodwin's 20th minute goal. Chelsea looking to go 10 out of 10 for their manager Sonia Bonpastor today, but currently having to fight back with about an hour played at King Power Stadium. At the CBS Arena, fascinating game and completely against the run of play Hull City's goal, but they took their opportunity, whereas Coventry didn't, Neil.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a real frustrating half for Coventry City. I think Sakamoto and Mason Clark have been absolutely outstanding. They've got ball after ball into the box for the strikers, Rodoni and Bassett, but they just can't fashion a chance, which is going to put the Sky Blues in front. And the opportunity that Hull City got, they were clinical. It's a great ball in by Abu Kamara, who's been the standout player for him on the counter-attack. And Ryan Longman's effort hits the post. It's a great finish from João Pedro. He's not been in the game at all, hardly, João Pedro, but his finish was unerring. It was right into the back of the net, and it's put a lot of pressure on Coventry. Yeah,
you don't need to be in the game if you're in the right place, do you? And certainly he was at the back post. The boos at half-time were interesting because, the Coventry fans need to really get behind this side if they want to give them the confidence that we were talking about in the build-up to the match, and that's just not happening.
No, it's not, and I think sometimes as well, though, it's down to the players. Fair that they've got to find it within themselves to get the team over the line. And you got a brand new manager in. He's got lots of different ideas. They played well that half, but you can play as well as you want. If you're trailing, then the supporters will give you a little bit of grief. It's part of the game, and they've got to show some character now in this second half. Yeah, they really do. What can they do? Where have Hull in particular felt a little bit exposed? Yeah, I mean, look, both full-backs have been overloaded a couple of times. They've got the full-backs to support the wide players. Like I said, Mason Clark and Sakamoto has been outstanding. Mason Clark in particular. Bassett's played with a lot of energy. It doesn't look like he's going to really find the back of the net. Rodoni's sort of grown into the game, and that's your attacking front line for Coventry. Just looking at Ben Sheaf, maybe can he step forward, or Torp, can he step forward from midfield and start getting a shot or two off? Because they've dominated the game, Coventry, but they've been always home to this sucker punch. And as the game's gone on 0-0, you could see Hull City growing in confidence and thinking, we could get one here. Yeah, what made me laugh the most is that you and Adam were just having that commentator's curse conversation whereby you were talking about the fact that we'd predicted both teams to score and it was goalless, and then bang, João Pedro comes up from nowhere. Can you do some more of that in the second half? Yeah, I know. I think that's what we need to do for the rest of the game, to be honest with you. But I mean, look, listen, they'll be buoyed at half time now, Hull City. They've got the noses in front. They had a good point during the week against Watford. If they can get something out of this game here, they're on the right way. Yeah, the manager bounce is working in Hull City's favour at the minute. Go get yourself warm, Neil. Speak to you very shortly. Half time at the CBS Arena. Coventry 0, Hull City 1. We're going to have second half commentary coming up next, and we're going to look ahead to our exclusive 3 p.m. Premier League match here at the Emirates as Arsenal face Everton.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the EFL.
Game day exclusive on Talksport 2 with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games, available with no contract, on now. Like Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa live today. Search Now Sports, 18 plus, through via internet, terms apply.
$1.39 at McDonald's gets you a delicious cheeseburger. $1.39 at a concert gets you... Testing. McDonald's Saver Menu. Actually get your money's worth. From 11 a.m. Price and participation may vary. Price varies on delivery, subject to availability.
You don't just check in to a Village Hotel. You work out. You jump in. You play on. You tuck in. And drink up. Village Hotels. 33 locations with everything under one roof. A huge gym with pool and great membership opportunities. And a buzzing pub and grill with delicious food, ice-cold beers and live sport. Check out villagehotels.com and work out, stay, meet and play.
Screwfix Sprint delivers from store to door in 60 minutes or less. So, whatever the job, you can do it with less faffing and more fixing. Less driving, more drilling. So don't break your stride. Screwfix Sprint. Order now exclusively on a Screwfix app. £5 delivery charge, no minimum spend. Don't stop. Sprint. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply. Selected products.
You could skydive out of a plane or swim with sharks. You might even skinny dip in icy cold waters. Or you could get that inexpressible high, that guaranteed rush from finding just the thing you wanted, the thing you needed, at a great sale price. Winter sale ends soon. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Watching the big game cozied up in the snug.
Another 7-0 win!
Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Football is back and it's game on. Get the ultimate football coverage with the Sun's free pull-out goals. With the best writers pitchside for in-depth match reports, it's all about goals. And with unrivaled news from the Premier League to League Two, it has to be goals. Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday, only in the Sun.
Game day exclusive on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the English Football League.
Good ball for Saka on his right foot, tucked in, Havertz, 3-0 Arsenal.
The position that we are right now, we want to continue to win.
Wouldn't be saying that Arsenal are out of this, Jim. They're not finding that X factor that you need.
Arsenal can play with the best. If that means that Arsenal have to go ugly, they'll go ugly.
Fulham treat that like a victory. There was a smile on the face of Mikel Arteta, but he will be gutted. It's finished Fulham 1, Arsenal 1.
Scoring from every situation is what we want to do.
It's now Everton 4, Wolves 0. The Toffees are putting Wolves to the sword.
Success is being competitive in all areas. You know, we want to be competitive in every game we play. We've been showing that recently.
If we get rid of Sean Dyche, we will go down. Sean Dyche needs us.
It's about results. They've got to get results. Tough fixtures coming up.
I'm ready for that. I'm more than ready for the challenge.
And it's back in the area. Calvert-Lewin! Brilliant goal! Dominic Calvert-Lewin!
Well, both teams have a big challenge this afternoon, don't they, for two very, very different reasons. This is EFL Game Day Live. Faker Rudders with you here on Talksport 2. Second half between Coventry and Hull is coming up from the CBS Arena. Hull City are a goal up against the run of play thanks to João Pedro. Over on Talksport right now in the Championship, Preston leads by 1-0 at half-time. Once this game's finished, we're going to bring you another exclusive, this time in the Premier League as Arsenal host Everton here at Emirates Stadium. And our commentary team of former West Ham striker Dean Ashton and Talksport's Ian Danter are with me to look ahead to the game. Listen, Perry Grove's not even here, still dropped off the jelly babies. What a pro.
Totally outdone me, hasn't he?
Yeah,
what a legend.
What gifts did you bring, Dino?
Absolutely nothing.
Unbelievable. Won't book him again, Dance, will we?
His charm and wit. That's what he's brought with him.
Right, okay, you've got a lot to prove over this next couple of hours. I'm really looking forward to this game, which maybe I wouldn't have said towards the beginning of the season, where I would have thought it would have been a straightforward game for Arsenal, but I think Everton have got a decent chance here to make things really awkward.
Well, I think when teams have been successful against Arsenal, it has been when they've sat very deep, they've tried to frustrate as best they can, and then they've either played on the counter-attack or from set plays they've got something off Arsenal. And that's how teams have generally got results here. There's only been a couple of teams that have been able to come here, the likes of a Brighton, who have been able to really play up against Arsenal in that sense. But Everton, we know exactly how they're going to play. You know they won't take risks. We know that they'll try and eke out as much time of this game as possible at 0-0 with looking to snatch a goal.
Yeah, I mean, they're capable of it, Dance, aren't they? But Arsenal have had a bit of a poor spell, it feels, but They're always brilliant here at the Emirates.
81% of their home games have been won here in 2024, so that's 13 wins, 2 draws and just 1 defeat, and that's their best since they got nearly 90% in the Wenger era back in 2007. What might be a factor today, and I'm not sure that it will be that much of a factor given that Arsenal made changes in the week, is that Everton have had a week and a half clear since the game against Wolves. The Merseyside derby was called off, so if in that 9-10 days Sean Dyche hasn't worked out a plan to at least have a basis at which to try and frustrate Arsenal here, then I'll be very, very surprised if he's not got something in mind. It'll be 4-5-1, and we'll maybe Doucouré we won't see quite as far forward as we've seen him when Everton are at Goodison.
I'm just watching James Tarkowski get off the Everton team bus and walk into the Emirates, and I heard him on Talksport earlier on this week talking about Everton playing out from the back and saying if it was his choice he probably wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, but look, I think he's been that type of defender, and I think his mindset has always been about the defensive side of the game and the physicality that he brings and the aggression. But he's also a quality player, and actually I think he's probably doing himself a disservice in terms of what he can do. But I think it's that mindset of he thinks defence first, and he sees that as a big risk as a defender.
There are some great stats that Opta released this week about Tarkowski's, the touches in both his own and opposition penalty box from set pieces, and how good he is at either getting to the ball first in a defensive or an offensive situation. So given that we've seen Arsenal mastermind set pieces in recent weeks, it could be from the corner flag or from out wide from free kicks where this game could be won and lost either way.
That's going to be fascinating, isn't it, to watch, because they've had a little bit of criticism, Arsenal, haven't they, about just being able to score from set pieces. I had this conversation with David Seaman the other day, and I was like, why is it a criticism though? Who cares where you score the goals from? Doesn't always have to be from open play.
People just want to be unhappy about something or want to have a moan about something, don't they, Dean?
Well, they do. I think that kind of stems back a little bit from Arsene Wenger and Tony Pulis, the sort of clashes they had over that sort of style. But ultimately, Arteta, he wants to get everything he can out of this team, and at the moment they're setting the standard for all that. They're trying to do things in a different way that everyone else will start to cotton on to.
So much so that the set piece coach has a mural outside.
Oh dear, we're getting to that point of football, aren't we, where all sorts of murals are being painted and statues erected. It's not just the players that are the stars nowadays, is it? Listen, we'll talk a little bit more about Everton and their potential takeover very shortly, but the players are on their way back out at the CBS Arena ahead of the second half between Coventry and Hull. Coventry were booed off in that first half after conceding to Hull City despite having the lion's share of possession and plenty of chances themselves. Let's see whether or not Frank Lampard has made any changes in this second half, and head over to our commentators Neil Redfern and Adam Bridge.
Yeah, thank you, Faye. No changes from Coventry City, but there is going to be a change for Hull City. Mason Burstow looks like he's about to come on. Was at loan in Sunderland last season. He's got a goal against Middlesbrough to his name so far this season. He's ready to come on. In fact, he's the only Hull player that's appeared so far. Coventry have been out here for a good 2 or 3 minutes already, so it could be one of those where Frank's put a flea in their ear and demanding they move their backsides a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I think it's looking like that, Adam, to be honest with you. I mean, look, they couldn't do a great deal more in the general play. It's just the putting the ball in the back of the net. I mean, they look bereft of confidence in front of goal, and as it's gone on, as the game's wore on, they've played on that fact, Hull City, and bagged themselves a decent goal, and it's them that's in front.
I think Abu Kamara is the player that is being replaced by Mason Burstow. So Coventry line up with Collins in goal, Van Avik, Thomas, Binks and De Silva across the back, Torp and Sheep in midfield, with Sakamoto, Rudoni and Mason Clark in behind Bassett. As for Hull, it's Pandor in goal, Coyle, Hughes, McLaughlin and Giles across the back, Slater and Alzate in midfield, and now it's Burstow, Palmer and Longman supporting João Pedro up front. Our referee Bobby Madley about to get us underway then at the start of this second half. Just to re-emphasise what Faye was saying, 68% possession for Coventry in that first half, 12 shots, only 3 on target though. They dominated in passes, they had 6 corners compared to Hull's none, And yet here we are at the start of the second half. Coventry 0, Hull City 1. Torp is penalised immediately for a foul on Stephen Alzate, picked up as a free agent after 7 years at Brighton. He'd had quite a few spells out on loan during his time on the south coast, including at Swindon and Standard Liège as well. But he's been in that midfield for Hull, fairly quiet in the game so far, but he has won the first free kick of the second half for Hull City, who again are looking to play out from the back, just down in front of us here on the left-hand side. It's clipped forward by Sean McLaughlin, the centre half. He's been at the club since 2019 when they signed him from Cork, and he goes all the way back to Ivor Pandor again, who's in the Hull City goal away to our left-hand side. No ill effects from that injury in the first half that facilitated that 3-minute Hull City team talk. He's been moving quite freely since then, and no reason for the trainer to come on again, which I think adds more credence to Frank Lampard's belief that there was no injury there at all. Mason Clark's done well. That's brilliant from Mason Clark. He's got the better of Coyle on this near side. Terrific strength. Ball at feet, still going in the penalty area. He's won his side a corner on this near side. That's brilliant from Mason Clark.
Yeah, again, pressure. It's poor play from Hull City trying to play out again. I mean, I don't know how many times they're going to get caught playing out from the back, and if it leads to them conceding, then they'll be kicking themselves, because you just don't want to be playing out when there's that many people up in the press.
Victor Torp will deliver the corner from this left-hand side for Coventry City at the start of this second half. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger. There are 7 sky blue shirts in and around the penalty area. It's to the back post. It's a clash of heads, because that's a decent header away that time, I think, from Sean McLaughlin, who's down. He seems to be the one who's come off worse. He may have actually headed one of his own players on the side of the head, but immediately the trainer's on, and in fact Bobby Maddy was about to wave him on, and he's already arrived at the scene, and it will be a free kick. And I think they're also just checking on Binks, who was the player I think who went up and got caught in the head as well. Bobby Maddy just checking if he's okay. He's wandered off, rubbing the side of his head, but nothing more.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's one thing they've done really, really well, Hull City, in this game. They've put the bodies on the line, particularly when balls have come in the box. They've never had anything easy, in front of goal, Coventry City. And they've showed far more determination to keep a clean sheet than Hull City have done to score a goal, to be honest with you.
Ruben Selles deep in conversation with Louis Coyle down just beneath us here. His time at Southampton was an interesting time. I think he was probably chasing a bit of a lost cause when they were in the Premier League, wasn't it? And certainly taking the mantle up at Reading. As I said, in League One, they've been showing some real signs. So no wonder Hull went looking. Jukanovic was a player they talked about potentially coming back into Hull City. He was former Fulham boss previously, of course. But Selles was the man. He's still down here receiving some treatment. This could be a problem for Hull City. No, he's up and about. Well, I say up and about. He's sitting up for the first time. So treatment will be done. I think actually in the end it was Charlie Hughes, the player, that's ended up on the floor with a head injury. And Bobby Madley saying, no, you've had treatment, you have to leave the field of play. And he will be a stickler for it. No, it is McLaughlin in the end. And he's saying, actually, can I go off that side, because it's closer for me to get back on where I need to be.
Yeah, I mean, they just need to find some energy and put this Hull City side on the back foot and put them under pressure, Coventry, and they've not really done it. I mean, you'd have thought they'd have come out all over Hull City after half-time. Frank Lampard got them in the dressing room. You think they were, they need to show a little bit more passion.
Header one over halfway this time by Sheaf, up towards Mason Clark, back to De Silva. Torp, quick feet. Oh, he's giving that one away, and a chance may be now down this right hand side. It's Longman who's got the ball away to Burstow. Burstow inside the penalty area, and he's across the face of goal. João Pedro was sliding in, and he was probably half a second too late, and it's easily cleared away by Van Avac on that right hand side. What an opportunity for Hull.
Yeah, great play. It's a great ball across the box, to be fair, from Burstow. He's unlucky. João Pedro nearly got on the end of it.
Coventry play a long ball forward this time, but Bassett is probably about 10 yards deeper than that ball was intended for. A reminder, it's still Preston 1, Leeds 0 early in the second half over on Talksport in the Championship. That's our other early game for you today. And as things stand, Preston really denting Leeds, who are hoping to go back to the top of the Championship table. Lovely ball slipped inside the penalty area, picked up this time by Slater. Slater just tries to poke his cross goalwards, but it's gathered quite comfortably by Collins, because it was quite weak in the end, and well, you can hear the frustrations of the home support. Collins was about to bowl that ball out, chose not to, and the home fans not very happy. They have beaten the press though that was being offered by Hull. It's not been the most convincing of presses, it has to be said, in this game. And they have possession deep inside their own half, the home team, trailing by a 1-0. And we've had 5 minutes already of this second half here on Talksport 2. Coventry 0, Hull City 1.
Yeah, you can't help feeling that Coventry have got to get that ball into wide areas. We saw real glimpses of quality in wide areas for Coventry in the first half, particularly Sakamoto and Mason Clark. They're the guys that they've got to get the ball to.
Tatsuhiro Sakamoto has made a run on that right-hand side, but that's a decent ball to Mason Clark, who scores for Coventry City. Brilliant delivery from Victor Torp to the right-hand side, and Mason Clark, sliding in at the back post, has diverted the ball home, and Coventry City find themselves level 6 minutes into the second half. He was the best player from Coventry City in that opening 45 minutes, and Mason Clark has his third goal in 4 games under Frank Lampard, and it's Coventry City 1, Hull City 1.
Well, it's another fantastic ball into the box from the right-hand side, whipped in. Sakamoto, I think, has got the ball in, whipped it across that back line of Hull City's, and he's brave, to be fair, Mason Clark. He comes in the back stick and he gets his head on it, diving full length to put it into the back of the net. No more than Coventry have deserved, but it didn't look like it was going to come from at one point.
Yeah, it really is a delightful ball that's clipped in by Victor Torp, just bouncing at the edge of the 6-yard box as Mason Clark then heads it in. I think he almost went careering into the post, but that's the bravery. And well, there's a player who's thriving under Frank Lampard for sure. Here's Bassett down this left-hand side. One apiece then. Bassett trying to work it forward. Is he fouled by Coyle? The referee says no, and instead he gives the throw to Hull City. Much to the frustration of those around us. Here is Coyle again, and Bassett works hard to block his attempted pass. It's another throw on this near side for Hull, level with the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Hull City react to this now. It's almost a smash and grab effort in the first half, but to be fair to them, they kept a clean sheet and they got the noses in front, but it's a different game for them now.
Certainly is. And I mean, the interesting thing with Mason Clark, he'd gone 21 league games without a goal until Frank Lampard arrived. I mean, confidence, 3 and 4, it just shows how big a part that plays in football, isn't it? And someone having belief in you.
Oh yeah, massive. If your manager loves you, then you feel like you want to go and play for him and do the best for him, but they're really handful.
Van Avac on the right edge of the penalty area for Coventry City. They're going in search of taking the lead here. Sheaf's early ball in is blocked out quite comfortably that time by Ryan Longman. They'll go all the way back to Collins, away to our right hand side. Amazing how a goal can change a mood in a stadium. Frustration and obviously that booing at half time, but the equaliser from Mason Clark, and suddenly things have started to kick into life. The drummers are off again here at the CBS Arena for Coventry City, but it's Hull on the attack this time. João Pedro, lovely feet, just skating past Binks, and I think Binks is going to get himself a yellow card for that challenge, and it will be a free kick from about 30 yards out for Hull City in a central area.
Yeah, since his goal in the first half, we've seen far more of João Pedro in this second half. He's definitely got good feet and a turn of pace. Unlucky at the beginning of the second half where he nearly got on the end of that shot that was cross that was flashed across the goal from Mason Burstow. They'd actually started to play a little bit better this half, Hull City, and Wobi Tiley go and concede the equaliser.
Here's the free kick, and it's going to be Casey Palmer, the former Coventry City man. Only Hull goal came against Stoke. Actually made 5 appearances for Coventry at the start of this season. Scored against Bristol City in the League Cup as well. He'll fancy his chances here. There's 4 in the Coventry City wall. Casey Palmer, and it's over the top of the crossbar. Never troubling the keeper.
No, he never really looked like he was going to get it up and down over the wall. There's a big run up towards it. He's just got to try and feel that on target if he can and make the goalkeeper work. I mean, he's not looked the most confident in goal, Brad Collins. Good opportunity there for Hull City.
Collins this time getting the ball out on that far side to Van Avermaet, who chests it down, just about keeps it in. No, he didn't. He got out of play, and it will be a throw-in on that far side for Hull. 10 minutes into the second half. EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2. We'll be heading to the Emirates shortly to get you the team news for our 3 o'clock kickoff today. The exclusive commentary of Arsenal against Everton. Bassett's come from an onside position this time. Holds the ball up nicely. Bassett just looks to turn and get away from McLaughlin. Bassett has still got the ball at his feet. He's done really well. He's got Sakamoto outside of him. Bassett's still going. Tries to get the crossover. Takes a deflection. And he's gathered in the end by Pandor away to our left-hand side.
Yeah, I think he's just needed to support him there, didn't he, Sakamoto? He's got his back to play, Bassett. And he just needs a face to come and show for him and support. And he runs past him, Sakamoto, leaves him a little bit isolated, making it really difficult to get the ball in the box.
This time Coventry have allowed Hull to play out of the press down this right-hand side with Mason Burstow. Chelsea man, of course, originally Burstow. He's given it back to Palmer. Palmer gets the ball infield, and he picks out the right foot this time of Charlie Hughes, who switches play to that left-hand touchline where Ryan Giles is waiting and has some support from Longman. Ball swung over towards that back post, and there's the header from Burstow, and it's just wide of the left-hand upright. He peeled off the back of De Silva and had a free header, and really should have done better and potentially put Hull City back in front. Right, 3 o'clock today, we're off to the Emirates for Arsenal against Everton. That's our exclusive Premier League commentary this afternoon on Talksport 2. The teams are in, and here's Ian Danton.
Thanks, Adam. 3 changes for Arsenal from the win against Monaco. Miles Lewis-Skelly keeps his place at left back. Gabriel, Timber and Havertz back in. Jesus, Partey and Kivior miss out. Just one change for Everton from their win at Wolves 10 days ago, and that sees Jack Harrison come in for the injured Dwight McNeil. At Emirates Stadium, live on Talksport 2, it will be Arsenal against Everton.
Dean Ashton will be alongside Ian Danton for that one from 3 o'clock this afternoon. Thanks, Ian. Here we've got a corner for Coventry City on that far side. Going to be swung in by the left foot this time of Jack Rudoni. It was one after a long punt forwards that was only half cleared by Charlie Hughes. Swung to the near post, comfortable header away by Ryan Longman right on the edge of the 6-yard box. Sakamoto will go back into the edge of the penalty area. Bobby Thomas will knock on. Mason Clark tries to run onto the end of it, but his move was checked and the actual offside flag was up against Mason Clark for his intention to go for the ball. And it was defended well by Charlie Hughes anyway.
Yeah, that was a great ball across from Sakamoto. And they're still coming out. They're not set really as a defensive line there, Hull City. And it's headed back across, but just caught offside at the death.
2 more changes coming. Marvin Milan is coming on for Casey Palmer. It's the first of these 2 changes being made by Ruben Celes. And Ryan Giles is going off, and he's going to be replaced by number 29, Matty Jacob, who will come onto the field of play. So a couple of changes for Hull, and it is Giles who goes off on this near side. Matty Jacob comes on. In the meantime, it is going to be this free kick for Hull away to our left-hand side. You listen to EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2, where it remains Coventry 1, Hull 1 as things stand. A reminder this week, you hear games from the Premier League. Got one this afternoon for you, 2 tomorrow night. Championship action tomorrow as well. And we've also got Carabao Cup action for you midweek. It's the quarter-final stage of the Carabao Cup. 3 of the games live across the Talksport network for you on a Wednesday and Thursday. Ball safely back at the feet away to our right-hand side of Brad Collins in the Coventry goal. As we head towards the hour mark, looks like there's no real kind of change in shape there for Hull with those changes. Matty Jacobs going straight in at left back, and then slotting into that midfield quite comfortably is Marvin Milan. And it's Coventry who have it midway inside their own half, and it's with Binks out wide to this left hand side where he finds De Silva, who just checks back inside. They'll find on that far touchline the right foot of Bobby Thomas. Thomas then helped on its way by Sheaf. Now to De Silva as the sky blue shirts start to wave forward on this near side. De Silva down the line. Really good run made by Torp into the right back channel. Gets it across to the edge of the box. Sheaf's there, helps on its way. Rodoni inside the box, gets the shot away, but it's blocked. Really desperate defending from Hull, but good defending as well. An excellent build-up play from Coventry City, and on that occasion, Ben Sheaf.
Yeah, a couple of great passes, forward passes, straight through the lines. And they're unlucky there, Coventry City. They get on the second phase, but they just can't fashion a shot around the edge of the box.
Here they are on the right-hand side again, Coventry. Van Avac, chance to cross, right-footed, which he does. It's beyond Sakamoto, but couldn't quite reach Torp, who was coming in behind him. Half cleared, throw in on that far side. Van Avac again, will give it short. And it's picked up in the middle of the park by the industrious Rudoni. Clips the ball towards Bassett. Good header away this time from McLaughlin. Now is Sakamoto, edge of the penalty area, right-hand side. Van Avac again tries to get the crossover, takes a deflection, is cleared away from the edge of the 6-yard box by McLaughlin and his left foot. Sakamoto fouled, surely. Referee says no, and a chance for Hull to counter. Here's Burstow on the right-hand side. Burstow then clips the ball over the top. Longman is on the chase. Longman takes it down. He's up against Binks. Longman inside the penalty area on his right foot, and it's saved just about by Collins, who palms it round the post and behind for a corner. But how on earth that wasn't a foul on Sakamoto, I don't know.
Yeah, he got dragged to the floor. I mean, I don't know what he's doing there, the referee. It's a bit of an obvious one to give, but it plays on, and they nearly fashion a chance at the other end there, Hull City. It's a great crossfield pass from Burstow.
Well, what a moment that would have been. No one has gone across to take this corner. I think the changes that they've made, suddenly the corner takers aren't on the field to play anymore. So Matty Jacobs has come across from left back. I think Ryan Giles would have probably been the man responsible. Jacobs going to swing this over with his left foot. One apiece here. Again, there's plenty of orange amber shirts in that penalty area for Hull, particularly crowding around that 6-yard area. Jacobs gets it over, it's flicked up, but not done well enough. Jacobs again on his left foot will ping it in for the second attempt. It's away by Thomas, it's a good header too. Picked up by Alzate though on that left-hand side for Hull. Gives that one in short. Here's Slater. Regan Slater hits an effort which is always rising, and it just goes over the top of Brad Collins' goal away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, it's a decent strike, to be fair, from Slater. You know, they look a little bit better in midfield since the substitutions have been made. Tighten themselves up. Marvin Millam gone in there and given a little bit more energy. Just change the shape around a little bit more to a 4-3-3.
2 goals in 5 minutes at Ashton Gate. Bristol City took the lead through Scott Twine, but Paul Smythe, the Queen's Park Rangers, has levelled things up 5 minutes later. So it's 1-1 in the Championship at Ashton Gate. It still remains 1-0 at Deepdale to Preston. There's a yellow card there for Charlie Hughes for a lunging challenge on this near side to give a free kick to Coventry about 20 yards inside the Hull City half. So 1-1 here, 1-1 at Ashton Gate. Preston still leading by a goal to nil. Wigan with the only goal in the early kickoffs in League One today. Lead Bolton. Salford have added a third against Notts County in League Two. Torp leaves it. Rudoni is going to swing this one in left-footed towards the edge of the penalty area this time. It's away to Sakamoto. Keeps it alive to Van Avac, and he will have to go back to Collins because he's under plenty of pressure that time from Stephen Alzate. Rudoni's in space though on this left-hand side, and that's who Collins has tried to pick out. Rudoni wins a good header. It comes towards Bassett, who can't quite get there, just beaten to it that time by Charlie Hughes, and it'll be cleared away for Hull from that left-hand side by Matty Jacobs, and all the way to Collins, away to our right-hand side again. And Coventry just trying to exert a bit more of a hold on this game in the second half.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Adam, they're just starting to find a little bit more rhythm again, Coventry, since the goal.
Burstow's done well to hold off the challenge of De Silva. Oh, little slip that time, and Alzate is dispossessed by Sheaf. Sheaf gets it through to Bassett. Bassett left-hand edge of the box, goes down, penalty! Bobby Madley points to the spot, and it's Charlie Hughes with a challenge. Bassett, the player who went down, and no hesitation from Bobby Madley, and Coventry have a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shocking foul up in midfield, to be honest with you, from Alzate. And as he slips, the Coventry man just runs straight through, slides the ball down the side to Bassett. He's been a willing runner all the game, to be fair to him, Bassett. He just nudges the ball past the defender and he takes him out. It is a penalty. It's a good decision from Bobby Madley. He's close enough to see the foul.
He's just booked Charlie Hughes as well. He's not gone for a yellow card.
Yeah.
I think he felt he did make a decent attempt to get the ball. Ben Sheaf has looked after the ball and the penalty spot and has handed it over to Victor Torp, who scored an equalising goal here against Cardiff in Frank Lampard's first game in charge from the penalty spot. Can he add another, his third of the season, from 12 yards? Pandor away to our left-hand side, bounces on the spot. It's Victor Torp, it's saved by the keeper. It's a poor penalty, low down to his left-hand side. Pandor makes the save and it remains 1-1.
Well, it's a great save by the keeper, but wow, he's never hit it. You know, you've got to put some pace on it, try and get it past the keeper. Great reaction save. I mean, I was just going to say, this is a really big moment in this game. If it goes to 2-1, it looks really dire for Hull City, but great save from Pandor.
Sheaf forward to Mason Clark. The expectation around the CBS Arena was that net was going to bulge. But Torp, I mean, we saw him earlier on have a shot and he absolutely leathered it there. I mean, he just tried to pass it into the bottom corner.
Yeah, and he was obvious with it as well, you know, with his body shape as he ran into it.
Van Avac keeps possession for Coventry. Here's to Silva on this left-hand side. Goes back inside to Binks. What an opportunity for Frank Lampard's side. Oh, and that's terrible from Bobby Thomas. He's just got the ball at the edge of the centre circle. Tried to lift it out to the right-hand side to Sakamoto. And it's gone into touch on that far side. You're listening to EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2. We are at the midway point of the second half and it remains Coventry 1, Hull City 1.
I'm just looking at Charlie Hughes there, give his keeper a hug. Ivor Kando, it's a great save to keep Hull City in it.
It is, little touch off towards Bissett this time from Mason Clark. Oh, and there's one pass breakaway for Hull, and it's Burstow against De Silva on this right hand side. Burstow outside of the right foot, brings a brilliant save from Collins, low down to his right hand side. It's superb from Burstow. He just hit that with the outside of the right boot. He was bending into the bottom corner and Collins can just about tip it round the post.
I tell you what, it's good play all round. It's a fantastic save, to be fair, from Brad Collins. He's made such a difference, Mason Burstow, since he's come on. He's really positive with the ball at his feet, runs at his man. J.D. Silva drops his shoulder, gets half a yard. It's a fantastic finish. Great save. Good play all round.
It's a corner for Hull on that far side. Again, Bobby Madley just telling them to hurry up with this corner. And actually, he's not got it in the quadrant either. So Bobby Madley just making sure it is in the quadrant. Jacobs is going to be the player to take it. Gustavo Puerta, should I say, is ready to come on down below for Hull. The corner is swung over, the header goes up towards the back post. It's good strength that time at the edge of the penalty area. Van Avik with the challenge, and they were appealing for a penalty, but nothing doing there for Hull City. Bissett on that far side will try and win it. Oh, high boot for Bissett on that far side on Matty Jacobs, and that's going to be a free kick for Hull.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a yellow card for Bissett.
Yeah, I think he knew straight away, Bissett. I'm not sure he knew the Hull City man was there, to be honest with you, but he's caught him flush in the face.
Yeah, he's up and about. Puerta is preparing to come on if they've got time to make this substitution before the free kick, and indeed they will, and no surprise it's going to be Stephen Alzate, who's had a fairly quiet game, you feel, who's going to come off for Hull City.
Yeah, made a mistake as well for that penalty. Got caught on the ball in midfield, flat on his face.
Yeah, certainly did. All part of our festive 50 today, our 50 live commentaries this December across the Talksport network. Right now, Preston against Leeds is live on Talksport, 1-0 to Preston. Here it's 1-1 between Coventry and Hull. And then coming up at 3 this afternoon, it's Arsenal versus Everton. Here's the free kick for Hull on the far side, right for DePaul. Just chipped up in the air like a sandwich into the penalty area. And it's away to the right-hand side, controlled by Charlie Hughes at the edge of the box. Ben Sheaf is after him. Hughes is trying to hold the ball by the corner flag. Sheaf closes him down again. The ball breaks out towards the edge of the penalty area, where it's brought down by Milam, and edge of the box is Pedro, the scorer of Hull's goal. Dispossessed by Van Avac, and then Mason Clark loses out. Good challenge that time again from Milam. found Pedro. Now down this right-hand side, it's Hughes. Hughes gets the ball back inside. Little spin and turn that time. Once more from Burstow. Burstow still going, tries to get the shot away at the edge of the box. Dispossessed by Mason Clark. And then a clip over the top for Bissett. Bissett gets it. He's offside again. He's the only player up there against the back line of Hull, and he's in an offside position once more.
Yeah, you'd think he'd want to bring the defender underneath it with a forward movement and then a run in behind, but he just opens his body up and runs straight in behind. Defender steps up, given offside.
Well, we said before he's 20, isn't he? He's young, he's got a lot to learn.
Absolutely.
Ellis Sims and Thomas Asante are the two players who are warming up for Coventry City. I think we may see one of them shortly.
I just think at this moment in time, Adam, as well, I just think Frank Lampard's cutting his nose off spite his face with Ellis Sims. You know, he's a guy that's, you know, he's proven he's got an opportunity here, I think. Go and lead the line and get the winner for Coventry.
Coventry lose out again as Thomas's ball forward is easily intercepted at the back, and it will come down to De Silva, who's midway inside his own half on this left-hand side, and he'll look to come forward for Coventry City into the final 20 minutes on Talksport 2. It remains one apiece here. Point apiece, not really good for either. Yes, it's another game unbeaten, but I think both of these sides crave the 3 points, particularly for Hull, rooted to the foot of the table. And if Coventry are going to find themselves, as Frank Lampard has been requested to do, to get themselves towards the playoffs, these home games need to count. Mason Clark down this left-hand side. Lovely from Mason Clark. Steps away for the first challenge. Could have taken the free kick. Keeps going. Clark still going down this left-hand side. Mason Clark towards the byline. He is fouled in the end, but he gets it. Right-footed crossover. It's a brilliant goal for Coventry City, and it's a great header from Jack Rudoni. But all the credit goes to Mason Clark down this left-hand side. Persistence and brilliance. A wonderful cross and a great header from Rudoni. And Coventry City have come from behind. It's Coventry City 2, Hull City 1.
Well, that's absolutely brilliant play, wing play from Mason Clark. Beats two men with the same trick, little step over, gone down the outside, steadies himself, drags the ball back onto his right foot, his good foot, and just curls it into the 6-yard box. And to be fair to Jack Rudoni, he's Johnny on the spot, climbing at the centre of the goal and to steer his header back past the goalkeeper. Probably what Coventry have deserved, to be honest with you.
Third goal of the season for Jack Rudoni. Goals against Sheffield Wednesday, Sunderland and now Hull. And we're going to see Bissett come off and Ellis Sims come on. No great surprise, I think, that Sims is going to enter the fray.
I was just going to say, Adam, that it's important that Rudoni comes up with a goal or two as well in that 10 slot. You know, you can't just look at the young lad up front. You know, he's an experienced player. He's spent a lot of money on him to get him in. He's got to find the net, and he's done that today.
And lead from Mason Clark as well. He's rejuvenated under Frank Lampard.
Yeah, brilliant.
We said 3 goals in 4 games. Brilliant assist there as well. And I mean, 2 or 3 times he could easily have gone down, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Because they were fouls, and if he'd gone to ground, I think he'd have got the free kick. One of them, certainly Bobby Madley already said play on. But his persistence paid off. And here's Rudoni again. 10 yards inside the whole half. Wins it the second time. First touch for Sims down this left-hand side. Sims with the ball at his feet. Finds Rudoni edge of the box. Left-hand side. Rudoni onto his left foot. Clips it over. Takes a deflection. Sims is there again. But it's gathered by Pandor at the edge of his 6-yard box.
Yeah, I mean, they just look a little bit toothless at this moment, Hull City. I'm just thinking back as well. I mean, the goalkeeper saved the penalty. It could have been 3-1. You know, looks like they've found the shooting boots, Coventry City.
Certainly a little more direct and accurate in the second half than they were in the first. Still got 16 minutes left to go here. I don't think anyone in the CBS Arena will be counting their chickens, given their frailty at the back so far this season, particularly here. 29 goals in total they've conceded. Only Sheffield Wednesday and Queen's Park Rangers have conceded more at home than Coventry City have, but then you have to counter that with Leeds, Sunderland and Norwich being the only teams that have scored more. So hence why we thought there might be goals today, because they do score but they do concede as well. Just 1 win in their last 5 at home. This will be a big moment for Frank Lampard and his Coventry City side if they can hold on. Now they lead by 2-1. 15 minutes remaining on Talksport 2, EFL Game Day Live. Reminder as well, if you like your boxing, next Saturday night we will bring you Usyk against Fury, the rematch. We'll be ringside in Saudi Saturday night on Talksport. It's live and it's free, of course, courtesy of Talksport. That's next Saturday evening. And talking of Boxing Day, we've got 10 live games for you across the Talksport network from the Premier League and the Championship. It is a day of football not to be missed. Long one punted forward by Collins from the edge of his own box, and Mason Clark goes up to try and win the header. It's actually won on this occasion by Louis Coyle, and it will be a throw into Coventry, taken short. Sheaf has it, gives it back to Thomas. 15 minutes to go. 2-1 Coventry lead, with Thomas edge of the centre circle. Hull still a real danger. Burstow on this right hand side has been lively since he came on at half time. Here's Mason Clark. Infield he goes to Sheaf. Support there from Tor. Sakamoto on that far side, edge of the penalty area. Helps it on its way to Van Avak, over towards Rudoni, who cuts it back, but the ball had gone out of play. And it's going to be a goal kick for Hull, away to our left-hand side.
Yeah, they've done that really well, Coventry, all the way through the game. They got the overlapping full-back in. You know, it's Van Uwijk this time. It's a great little ball down the line by Sakamoto, and his cross is just a little bit big. It's coming in at the back stick again, Rudoni. Looked far better, Rudoni, this second half. Looks a goal threat. It's given them energy in midfield. Got past the front at times.
First goal in 12 games for Chris Beddier at midweek, and he's on. He's from the Ivory Coast, and he will add another striking option for Hull City. Burstow's gone out now on the left-hand side in place of Longman out there. Looks like he's gone to the right-hand side. Beddier. Goal against Watford, securing that point in midweek for Ruben Sellers. Throwing on the far side for Coventry, 10 yards inside the Hull City half. It remains 1-0 to Preston at Leeds. They're inside the final quarter of an hour as well over on Talksport right now. If you haven't got the Talksport app, do yourself a favour, get it downloaded. You're going to need it over the festive period, particularly on Boxing Day, with all of those commentaries we've got for you on the Talksport app across Talksport 2 and across Talksport. You can then flip between games and basically have us on wherever you go. Here's Rudoni over halfway for Coventry City. He's got Torp inside him. Rudoni still going though towards the edge of the box. Mason Clark now on this left-hand side. Comes inside Coyle on his right foot. Mason Clark has got Rudoni outside him on the left. Here is Rudoni, cuts it back across towards Mason Clark. Sheaf's going to try and win it at the edge of the box. He can't quite get there, and the breakaway was on, and then there's a foul from Victor Torp, and he's going to get a yellow card for that, is he? Referee just waiting a moment.
That was a good foul for his teammates there from Victor Torp, because he was away.
And he's not been booked either. He's got away with one.
Yeah, he has, but he almost took one for his team. They got a little bit light numbered on the counter there.
In League One, the early kick-offs, Bolton 0, Wigan 2 now, and it remains still Orient 0, Burton 0. And in League 2, it's still Salford 3, Notts County 0. And it's now Tranmere Rovers. They've turned it around against Harrogate. Tranmere Rovers 2, Harrogate Town 1. The game between Leeds and Harrogate Town, one of 11 FA Cup commentaries we'll be bringing you on FA Cup weekend in early January too. The football just never stops across the Talksport network, and the Arsenal-Manchester United game will be our live and exclusive commentary on the Sunday afternoon. Bit of a belting weekend as ever, FA Cup third round weekend, and you will not miss a kick across the Talksport network. 11.5 minutes to go here on Talksport 2. Coventry 2, Hull City 1. On that far side, Burstow has it. In from the touchline on his right foot, clips it over towards Beddier on this near side, but it's too much on it, out of play for a throw to Coventry, midway inside their own half. And I think we're going to see a Coventry change now, and we're going to see the introduction of Jake Bidwell. An attempt to tighten things up a bit. Jay De Silva is the player that's coming off, so it's going to be a change in the back line for Coventry City. He's done well today, De Silva, back in the starting 11.
Yeah, he has. I just think at times he looked a little bit small at the back stick when Mason Burstow was coming round there a couple of times. Maybe putting Bidwell in there, maybe more of a defender, if you like, left back.
Over 100 league appearances for Bidwell, former Everton trainee. And he'll just slot in at left back for Frank Lampard as he looks to try and manage this game out. Just Saying to Sakamoto, just come over a little bit as we try and just condense play and squeeze it on this near side. Sheaf with some good pressure that time on Milan, and he wins the throw for Coventry City on this near side.
Yeah, he's played well, Sheaf, hasn't he, the captain? He's covered some ground, put himself about, got to second phase well, kept his passes simple.
Just over 10 minutes remaining. I'd have thought someone like Ben Sheaf will benefit from having someone like Frank Lampard coaching you, won't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mason Clark on this near side, who's been the star of the show for me for Coventry City. Bidwell does really well, gets the crossover towards Sakamoto. Rodoni knocks it down, taught edge of the penalty area, picked up by Avac. Van Avac gets it over towards the back post. It's half-headed away that time by Louis Coyle. Well, Marvin Milam is still on the floor on this near side. Bidwell just brushed him aside with a hand. It was not really in the face, I don't think, either, but
yeah, I think he was looking for it there, to be fair.
Milan very much making the most of it. It's a throw to Coventry on this near side. Bidwell will make better use of his hands this time as he gives it into Mason Clark, who's being held by Coyle. Back to Bidwell, tries to get the cross in, blocked out, and it'll be a throw in by the corner flag. And Bobby Madley just saying as well to Louis Coyle, just be careful. There I thought it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but throw taken short on this near side. Here is Sheaf. Sheaf's going to go back to Binks, who will then find Thomas in the centre circle, and the Sky Blues looking to build again from right to left as they go with Binks again, and then to Sheaf down this left-hand touchline, then to try and find Bidwell, but he was closed down a little too quickly before getting that pass away, and instead they will revert to that right-hand side, and Van Avac was there, but he's lost possession, and Burstow tries to come forward, and Hull will have a throw 10 yards inside the Coventry half. This game is not done yet. 2-1 to Coventry. They've missed a penalty as well, and we've got 8.5 minutes remaining at the CBS Arena.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Adam. Just a little bit loose with the pass in there, Coventry.
Coyle swings the ball to the back post over the top of Pedro, comes down to Burstow at the edge of the penalty area. Burstow then just leaves it nicely for Jacobs. Jacobs ball in, takes a deflection. Mason Clark on this near side in the left back position this time will need some support, which comes from Ben Sheaf. Ben Sheaf is there, but Mason Clark showing tremendous strength to hold off Coyle, and in the end he wins the free kick for his side. And I know it's your job to pick man of the matches in games, but blimey,
it's an easy one, isn't it?
it's not a difficult one today. No,
it's an easy one. He's been absolutely outstanding there from Mason Clark. He's shown loads of ability, pace, power, real awareness in the box, got some great crosses in, looks the part.
Well, certainly Peterborough United didn't want to lose him, but it's the way their model operates, isn't it? They got him back on loan for the back end of last season before his formal completion of his switch here. A difficult start, but he's finding his feet now in the Championship, is Mason Clark, as Collins clears up towards Sims, who tries to get high and win the header. Sheaf does win a header in the middle of the park, and then Thomas will clip a ball forward, but it's into no man's land, and it will be gathered away to our left-hand side, where it's brought down and picked up immediately by Charlie Hughes for Hull, who then just lifts a ball spinning in the air as it goes forward over halfway. Sakamoto will pick up the loose ball in the centre circle, comes out towards Rodoni on this near side, can't get there first. Sheaf does though, finds Sakamoto in a central area. Rodoni's out wide on this left hand side. Bidwell's coming in behind, but he's got Sims and Mason Clark in the box, tries to pick out Sims with a header. Oh, it's hit the post and it's bounced back into the arms of Pandor, and Ellis Sims within inches of making it 3-1 to Coventry.
Oh, what a ball from Bidwell. Great ball with his left foot curling away. It's a good header from Sims, just steers it towards a goal, and they're so lucky Hull City. Hits the corner of the post and drops in the goalkeeper's hands. Ivor Pendor, brilliant attack.
Yeah, I think Ivor Pendor was doing very little about that, but straight up the other end here, come Hull with a chance maybe. Breaks out from Bedia at the edge of the penalty area, just controlled, and back to Coyle. Coyle's going to lift it into the box to the far edge. Sakamoto's there to nod it down. He finds Milan Van Avac. Van Avac gets it up over halfway. Sims is trying to win the header there against McLaughlin, and I think the feeling was that Hughes maybe committed the foul. Sims does win it back, comes towards Mason Clark on this near side, but Coyle nips in first for Hull, just short of halfway. 6 minutes to go. Coventry leading by 2-1 on Talksport 2. Here's a chance maybe even in the centre circle for Puerta. Gets it forward down this right-hand side. He's on loan from Bayer Leverkusen, is Gustavo Puerta. Right-footed ball clipped forward this time by Hughes, and it's just gone over the top of Van Avak. It comes down towards the edge of the penalty area, and Bedia. Then there's Burstow, who finds Slater. Slater cuts it back across the box, and it has to be cleared away that time by Tor.
Do you know the irony of this, Adam, is they've actually played much better second half, Hull City. They've looked more of a threat, and they find themselves 2-1 down.
Football, eh? Never played on paper, is it, as they say?
No.
It's away to our left-hand side again with Pandor. He's saved a penalty in the second half, but still Coventry lead 2-1. 5 minutes remaining. Don't forget we're off to Arsenal-Everton once we're done here with our exclusive Premier League commentary this afternoon. Over on Talksport, it's Game Day Live with Adrian Durham, Troy Deeney, Robert Hoof and Mickey Gray on the team this afternoon. The goals as they go in from around the grounds. And don't forget more live football tomorrow in the Championship. It's Norwich against Burnley tomorrow afternoon here on Talksport 2 from 3. And then we've got 2 Premier League commentaries for you tomorrow night, Sunday night. I know, bonkers, but it's Southampton against Tottenham in the Premier League. That's on Talksport, and it's Chelsea against Brentford on Talksport 2 tomorrow evening. Just over 25,000 attendance here at the CBS Arena today, and the majority, as things stand, will be going home happy as Coventry leads by 2-1. What that will do to the Championship table, Coventry will move on to 24 points, 16th place. They'll be level with Derby County, just a point behind Preston, a point behind Millwall.
I think more importantly at this stage, Adam, is they'll keep Hull City at arm's length. That's the most important thing.
Well, quite rightly, we're going to get a couple of substitutions here. Torp is coming off to be replaced by Josh Eccles, and Ethan Mason-Clark is getting his standing ovation as well, as on comes Brandon Thomas Asante. Lampard with a pat on the head for Torp, and I suspect a very big hug required for Mason-Clark. Try and see this game out here, Coventry. Throwing on the far side for Hull City, about 15 yards inside the Coventry half. Taken short to Burstow. Oh, that's brilliant. He's got away from 2 as Mason Burstow, but then just ran into a corridor of sky blue shirts. Down this right hand side, Coyle's 35 yards out from goal on his left foot, pings it to the far edge of the penalty. Burstow knocks it down towards Pedro, appeals for handball against Sheaf inside the penalty area, but it's cleared kind of desperately up towards halfway, and Hull will have a throw.
Yeah, they've just lost a little bit of control of this game, Coventry. You know, where they were really dominating after the second goal, they've just lost away a bit.
Oh, clipped into Bedia. He misses it. Breaks down the right hand side for Milam. Milam then tees that up for Burstow, whose right-footed shot is over the top of the bar from the edge of the penalty area. Ruben Selles, his arms are outstretched. He cannot believe that Burstow's not hit the target.
Yeah, I mean, that's sat up lovely. Great little dummy on the edge of the box to find Burstow, and he's coming onto it, and he just gets carried away, and he's leaning back, and that's going up and over the bar. Just get your body over it and hit the target, make the goalkeeper work.
2 minutes plus added time remaining at the CBS Arena here on Talksport 2. Remains Coventry 2, Hull City 1. Collins with a goal kick away to our right hand side. His turn now to just take a little bit more time over these set pieces, which we saw Pandor doing in that first half. Radoni, scorer of this second goal for Coventry, commits the foul. A little shove in the back that time of Marvin Milan. The German goes down quite comfortably, and it's Hull who have possession midway inside their own half, desperately seeking that equalising goal. As Neil Redfern quite rightly said, they probably played better in the second half, and yet at half-time they led by a goal to nil. Free kick for a foul that time by Sean McLaughlin midway inside the Coventry City half. So Coventry City will have a chance to clear their lines here as the clock ticks round into the 90th minute.
Yeah, I think this is a good opportunity for Frank Lampard. Just have a look at his team, see how it manages these minutes, these really important minutes when you're in the lead, clock's ticking down. Can you be disciplined? Can you do the simple things really well? Can you make it horrible for Hull City to get back into it?
More Premier League action for you on Monday night as well. Game night is back, game night exclusive. Bournemouth against West Ham. Here's the game that's live on Talksport. 7 o'clock the build-up begins on Monday night before we get into those Carabao Cup quarter-finals. Here's Thomas Asante towards the edge of the penalty area. Helps on its way to Eccles. To that far side, Milan Van Eyck is there, just off the edge of the penalty area. Slips the ball to Sakamoto. Sakamoto at the byline, tries to drill it back across. And it's a sliding challenge from Jacobs that puts it out on that far side for a corner to Coventry City on that far touchline as Sam Allison, our fourth official, appears down below. 7 added minutes at the CBS Arena.
Well, there's an opportunity for Hull City if ever they wanted one. You know, there's a lot of time left.
Didn't think there'd been that many delays in the second half.
I can't remember.
But fair enough. Corner on that far side then. It's going to be Rodoni who's going to swing it in with his left foot. Before we had 6 or 7 players in the box, we've now got 3 for Coventry City. Here is Rodoni. There's 7 minutes, no time to hold it in the corner, you'd think. Sheaf, Sakamoto does well to keep it in, but he can't do much apart from win the throw on that far side as Marvin Milam has the final touch.
I was just going to say about Sakamoto, he's been another really good performer today, you know. Little and busy and bright, gets on the ball, plays some great little balls round the corner into the front, and puts some lovely crosses in. Tireless worker. Frank
Lampard is pacing his technical area. Haven't beaten Hull since October 2021, Coventry City. And that last home win, as I mentioned, back in 2007, Leon Mackenzie and Michael Doyle on the score sheet that day. Van Eyck on that far side. Oh, lovely ball into the box to Rodoni. Rodoni wriggles away from one challenge towards the byline. Rodoni's still going. It's blocked out on that far side by Jacobs and Puerta. And a chance may be here on that far side for Milan. Van Eyck again, and he's committed a foul this time. And it's going to be a free kick for Hull City, right by the corner flag on that far side.
This has got to go up the pitch quickly for Hull City.
Well, we've had nearly 2 of these 7 minutes added by referee Bobby Madley. The EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2. Forward the ball goes up in the air from Eccles to try and get it half clear in the centre circle. Rodoni with a big up and under. Sims is after it. Sims may well get there first against the keeper. Oh, the keeper's misjudged it. Sims has got an empty goal to volley into, but all he can do is volley it into the legs of Louis Coyle, who was about 5 or 6 yards away from him, and win his side the corner.
Yeah, brilliant from the striker. Ellis Sims didn't give it up. Made a right hash of it. The goalkeeper, Ivor Pandor, he's done well since he's come on, Sims. He's given them some energy, got hold of the ball, roughed them up a little bit at the back.
Rodoni's going to take the corner for Coventry on this left-hand side. Sakamoto was coming across. I think Ben Sheaf is instructing who's to go where here. So Thomas Asante is coming to do the short one. Instead he goes out to Sheaf. Sims is at the back post if he wants to load it, but I don't think he will, given that we've had, 2.5, nearly 3 minutes of the 7 added here. Coventry still leading by 2-1. They want the throw on this side, and they will get the throw on this side as the Marvin Milam just upset that he didn't get the decision.
Yeah, a little bit of petulance there. Just got to keep it cool here, Hull City.
Bidwell short to Sheaf. Bidwell down the line. Thomas Asante by the corner flag. We have had 3 of the 7 minutes that have been added by Bobby Madley. Bidwell again just dries the ball and finds Rodoni by the corner flag. Rodoni then fouled. And again it's Milan once more with a challenge, and Coventry get the free kick, and it's probably 4 yards infield and about 6 yards from the corner flag. This free kick goes Coventry's way, but I don't think they're going to be loading this in the penalty area.
No, I tell you what, he's been excellent, to be fair, Rodoni. Second half, he's looked much more of a threat going forward from midfield. He's worked tirelessly, made loads of tackles in that engine room.
Early kickoffs blowing full-time whistles at Bristol City. Bristol City 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1 at Ashton Gate. A point apiece then. And in the game up at Deepdale between Preston and Leeds, a 93rd minute Jack Watmore own goal means it's now Preston 1, Leeds 1. The finale to that is live over on Talksport right now. By the corner flag, it's Rodoni. He's got 2 round him now, pulling his shirt, hauling him to the ground, and Bobby Madley says no foul. Thomas Asante's in there as well. Eventually Hull get it away, and then the offside flag is up as it was, and it'll be a free kick for Hull away to our left-hand side. Another draw incoming for Preston.
Yeah.
And for Paul Heckingbottom. Is that 7 draws, I think, in the last 11 games it'll be?
Yeah, it's amazing. It just shows you, though. I mean, they've definitely tightened them up. Paul Eckingbottom, Stuart McCall.
It is indeed full time there. It's 1-1, it's finished at Deepdale over on Talksport. There's whistles going in the early kickoffs today. There's a foul. Ben Sheaf with the challenge.
Could get a
Bedia.
Yeah.
And he's feeling a bit of discomfort there. Ben Sheaf missed the start of the season through injury. 2 minutes remaining here. It's very tense around the CBS Arena, let me tell you.
It's now or never, isn't it, for Hull City?
Really is. Full time in League One, Bolton 0, Wigan 2. Still 0-0 and playing between Orient and Burton Albion. Salford 3, Notts County 0 is a full time, and Tranmere 2, Harrogate 1 is a full time 2. Back in for Hull City towards the edge of the 6-yard box, has to be cleared away desperately in the end by Eccles. It's back as far as Pandor inside the centre circle. 90 seconds remaining here of the 7 that have been added on by Bobby Madley. Pandor out to that left hand side. Burstow goes up to win the header, knocks it down. McLaughlin's gone up front, I think, now for Hull. Comes down on that far side to Jacobs. Jacobs clips it forward. Burstow lays that back into Puerta. Picked up on this near side by Coyle. Now a chance with the right foot maybe to try and pop it forward, but in the end he's forced backwards, Regan Slater. We're into the final minute. 2-1 Coventry lead on Talksport 2. Knocked down towards the edge of the penalty area. Bidwell's across, hacks it clear, high into the Coventry sky. Over halfway, Slater wins the header, helped on its way by Gustavo Puerta. Again, it's back towards halfway. Coyle wins the header this time, ahead of Rudoni. Clipped over his head by Hughes. And Pedro's there to try and win it. And Sakamoto will just hack it clear and into touch on the far side. And it'll be a throw for Hull, 15 yards inside their own half.
Yeah, that's an intelligent bit of play by Sakamoto, because they've got to fetch that throwing back.
6.5 of the 7 minutes added. Coventry 2, Hull 1. Forward it goes. Hughes helps it on towards the edge of the Coventry penalty area. Rodoni tries to win a header. Comes back to halfway. Lifted forward by Coyle, the Hull City captain, to that far side. Burstow's there, trying to get on the end of it. 2 blue shirts go and greet him. They concede the throw. Level with to the edge of the penalty area on that far side. We've had the 7 minutes added. Bobby Madley puts his whistle to his lips. The ball swung over, and there is the final whistle. And Coventry City have the victory for Frank Lampard. They've come from behind. The home form may have been a bit sketchy so far this season. They won only one of their last 5 here prior to today, but inspired performance by Ephraim Mason-Clark has driven them on to victory, despite the fact they fell behind right at the end of the first half to João Pedro's 3rd championship goal of the season. But it was Mason-Clark's bravery at the back post to get on the end of Victor Torp's cross to make it 1-1. And although they missed a penalty as Torp forced a fine save out of Ivor Pandor, it was in the end Jack Rodoni's header from close range after brilliant work from Mason-Clark down the left-hand side that's ultimately secured the victory for Frank Lampard's Coventry. The first time they've beaten Hull City here since March 2007. They move up to 16th in the table, 8 points off of a playoff place, but more importantly, they're 6 points clear of that drop zone, and Hull City remain rooted to the foot of the table. Full time at the CBS Arena. It's Coventry City 2, Hull City 1.